3 guilty. Wait, count 4 here. As you can see, the first 3 counts, the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, found guilty of 3 felony counts so far. The 4-person in that courtroom. Count 4, guilty. Count 5, guilty. Count 6, guilty. As we continue to enter into the ruling from the courtroom, it's our belief that the first 19 counts, I'm being told, the former president has been found guilty of counts 20 through 23 found guilty as well. So correct me, control room, all the way through count 23 now found guilty. We are now up to count 26 and count 27 found guilty as well. So again, I'm going to pause here. He's been found guilty. 31 counts now of guilty as we wait for the graphic to catch up to the reporting coming from the courthouse. Count 33, counts 34 coming right now. Guilty on all counts. This jury in New York City, the jury of his peers finding the former president guilty on every single felony count brought against him by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office.
Guilty. 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 Boom, 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 boom. Right. Guilty, motherfucker. If you want to know what that feeling is, it's justice. All right. Yeah, I can do that. Guilty, folks. Guilty. Guilty. Big props to Funk Fiction, G-Funk Sonic for that wonderful rendition of Oil Ocean Zone. Brings me right back to those nostalgic Sega Genesis days. It's a motherfucking good day. And look, is there a lot of bad news? Yes. Is there a whole lot of bad news that I could be talking about instead right now? Yeah. Ukrainian people are still suffering under an unbelievable invasion. The Palestinians are still suffering under an unbelievable ethnic cleansing. But God damn it, we got a guilty verdict on a U.S. president. Guess again, motherfucker. Woo! We got a guilty verdict on an obvious criminal. Put his name down on the fraud. That's what got him. That's what got him. Shit was documented. Reminds me of that famous scene from The Wire. Reminds me of this classic scene from The Wire. Let me just show this to you real quick. This was Trump's whole problem.
Nigga, is you taking notes on a criminal fucking conspiracy?
One more time.
Nigga, is you taking notes on a criminal fucking conspiracy? What the fuck is you thinking, man?
You don't document your crimes, okay? You actually don't do that. It's not a smart thing to do, Donald. Art of the deal, art of the steal. You actually don't document your crimes. Yeah, homie, it looks like you're having a stroke over there on your new keyboard. Yeah, Woke Patriot. Absolutely wonderful show, The Wire. So now, guys, back to the original point of what I'm talking about. There's a lot of bad news. Let me just turn the volume down here. Sorry. There's a lot of bad news, legitimate. Okay. But today is a good. Yesterday was the day, obviously. But we'll just pretend it's today, okay? Daniel Blixit. No, but today we celebrate. Today, actual justice happened. You know, today we've proven, at least for today, you know, all bets are off if Trump wins the presidency. But for today, we've proven that presidents are not kings, that presidents are at least somewhat culpable, or like, you know, somewhat citizens. You know, I saw someone on Twitter make a really good point, you know, about how, okay, you know, all the different wars, or was that a meme or something someone put in the meme section of the Discord, but, you know, all the different war crimes and all the different things that, you know, U.S. presidents get away with. And this is the thing, you know, that gets them hung up. Some finance crimes related to a porn star, sex crime related to sex crimes, not exactly getting arrested for the sex crimes or getting convicted for the sex crimes, but the cover up of the sex crimes, whatever. I mean, it is interesting how that works, though. We got Barack Obama dropping drone bombs on wedding parties, and he's, you know, hanging out with Richard Branson, writing books and wagging his fingers at progressives, right? What's the greater crime? But with that said, a U.S. president was indicted and convicted. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into the reactions. Let's get into the analysis. Let's get into both sides. Let's look at MSNBC's orgasm, collective orgasm with ABC and CNN. But really, it's MSNBC that's really unashamed to pop the cork. And then, of course, we're going to look at Fox News. And if you like, we could do some, you know, Newsmax and OAN and all that. It's as unhinged as you expect. But what's really, really good is the crowd reaction. The crowd reactions are absolutely golden. All right, so let's get into it. This is a great video from the Humanist Report. Who still uses Mike over here is adorable. He's still using terms like spirit animal and stuff. He's such a millennial. It's so adorable to see millennials just owning the fact that we're kind of lame. We're kind of dorks. We're actually kind of dorks. If it was any indication. Yes, Chem Goblin. Today, Trump only, one topic, talking about this is historic. Tomorrow, no Trump. Going to be talking about Ukraine, Gaza, the real shit. This is real. This is really important. This cements America. This goes all the way back to Washington, who was the first president who gave up his ability to be a king and said, no, we're going to keep this system. We're going to try this experiment. I'm going to step down from power. I'm going to let this other guy replace me. He's going to make decisions that I don't agree with. I don't care. And this goes all the way back to that moment. This experiment in democracy, that presidents at the very top of power are not kings, that they can be held accountable by the justice system, that they are not above it. Of course, you know, that's, you know, Trump is the antithesis of all of that. But, you know, the bad actors, which is exactly what fascists do, they will scream at you, utterly convinced that it's the other way around, that Trump is, destroying the shackles of the deep state, and that he's the one being victimized, and he's the one being attacked politically by his opponent. And it's just, there's no truth to that. I gotta say, but it's not a felony. I can't believe a nasty Democrat said it. Oh yeah. So every time I see a bitch ass whiner on the screen, I'm going to show this picture right here. So just, Mr. Pat spits facts. We're just going to assume that you look like this. You're pretty fucking pathetic, Pat. You're over here talking about, what about the Democrats? What about the Democrats? You know, that's not how the justice system works. You know, that's not how the law works. It's actually possible to commit crimes that other people are committing and get arrested for those crimes that you've committed and actually be held responsible for that. You don't get to go to the judge and say, "Oh, well, they did it. I can't believe you're not arresting other people that are doing it." It actually reminds me of when I was a teenager and I was getting my first traffic ticket, and I was like back talking with the cop about how come you're not arresting all the other, all my other students, all my other friends who are who are driving without their seatbelt, because I got a seatbelt ticket. It wasn't a speeding ticket. It was a seatbelt ticket. I was like, no one else wears a seatbelt. What are you talking about? And it reminds me, it's that teenage, childlike logic of like, well, how come I'm getting in trouble if I saw other people do bad things, and we're literally applying that to a criminal, who had the highest office of the land, who is an embarrassment to the country. Isn't he a felon? So when I type convicted felon, the first thing, because I wanted to make sure I was spelling felon correctly. The first thing that comes up is literally when I type in convicted felon into Google, the first thing that comes up. So guys, but he's not a felon. We're just denying reality now, huh? That's great. That's adorable. Keep crying. Keep crying. Yeah, Newsweek. Convicted felon. Convicted felon. But no, he's not a felon. He's not a felon. He's not a felon. He's not a felon. It's a porn. He just paid a porn star to fuck him. I don't know. He's not a felon. Real men wear diapers. My God, keep crying, bitch. I mean, please. Keep crying. I'm begging for it. Give me more. Give me more. Give me more. Fill my fucking cup. So sentencing will be happening, because he almost successfully gaslit me there for a second. I was like, wait a minute, is he not a convicted felon? Wait a minute, what the hell's going on? He almost gaslit me there for a second. I was like, wait a minute. You see how that, like it infects you. Wait a minute. Is he not officially a convicted felon? It was like when people were calling him a rapist when he was technically like second level sexual assault, until a later court case definitely convicted him, I think, actually of rape. But, the gaslighters, oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Joe Biden wears diapers. Joe Biden wears diapers. No, your guy wears diapers. And now you're owning it. And now you're owning it. And it's like, I feel bad for people like that are incontinent, that have legitimate, GI tract issues. It's like, leave them alone. Okay. They're just trying not to shit their pants. It's turned into this whole derogatory thing. I kind of feel bad for people that, because like there's a reason why adult diapers exist, because some people can't control their goddamn bowels. God damn it. They don't want to shit their pants. Now all of a sudden they got to live with a stigma now. Thanks, Trump. Actually, Trump is actually owning diapers. So maybe, you know what? Maybe Trump is the savior of, GI people with GI tract issues. Good job, Trump. Way to raise awareness and let people know. Okay? I just feel like if I keep making fun of the diapers thing, I'm going to, a couple years later, my fucking GI tract, and I'm going to be wearing adult diapers. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, that was so funny. I'll be like watching old videos. I'll be like, yeah, no, it's not so funny, guys. All right, let's get to it. Funny stuff. Humanist Report. Reactions from Fox and MSNBC. Let's get into it.
Consumed with hatred, are trying to destroy a man because he threatens their power.
Yeah. He
These
only
are wicked
committed crime.
People obsessed with
He was tried in a court of law. Jury of his peers, all the evidence laid out. He had an opportunity to defend himself at every point, did everything he could to delay and delay and delay, because he knew he was guilty. He knew he was guilty. He's a victim. He's a victim.
person, and we will seek justice. We guarantee that. This man's life is a Greek tragedy.
Great tragedy.
Agreed.
From billionaire, bankruptcy, TV star, Hollywood Walk of Fame. divorces, marriages,
He's
children.
not getting prison.
And that was even before
He's
he
not
enters
getting prison.
politics. And then you have investigations and hoaxes and a pandemic.
How could they
And
do a
now they're trying
pandemic to
to
him?
incarcerate this person. And the only way this act ends if he is reelected.
Oh my.
So they go on to talk about it a bit. Sorry, I'm going to skip around a bit on this Humanist Report video. They got some really juicy clips. Their commentary is great. Make sure you're liking and subscribing here so you can get the full, if you want this anarchist version of Pod Save America, go for it. They call themselves a mafia. It's adorable. It's cute. It's as edgy as I am. I can't sit here and criticize. But it gets way better. It gets way better. The reactions on the street are like literally the girl screaming, when Trump won, like ah! It's literally that level, dude. It's amazing.
This
really
is
good.
great. This is so great.
This is so good.
You can't even sound different. Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. Motherfuckers! Motherfuckers! You suck! You suck! There is no justice in this country. Not guilty! Not guilty! Not guilty!
Hey, what do you think about the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, guys? Justice was the justice system's right. The justice system's awesome. What are you talking about? Kyle Rittenhouse totally innocent. Hey, what do you think about OJ? Oh, the justice system doesn't know what the hell's going on. You would almost call it nuance if they didn't just flip like a light switch. With their indignant anger. But it just gets better and better.
Eat shit and die! You're fucking corrupt,
Your fucking kids are all dead. Your kids are all fucking dead.
Jeez.
They're all fucking dead.
Jesus.
They're all fucking dead.
Motherfucker!
Your kids are dead. Your kids are dead.
There's no justice in this country!
What is going
Man,
on?
I love New Yorkers. They're great.
Welcome back, Strategy Woke Patriot. I guess Spittin' Facts had to leave. Oh, Chem Goblin. Let's see who else here. I wanted to say hi to Trailhead as well. Welcome back, everybody. Davey's here as well. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for being here at the News Underground, by the way. I am Abandoned Nihilism. I know I haven't introduced myself yet, but this is so good. I just had to dive in immediately. Here we go. More of this.
The guy who said that all of your kids are dead because Trump is convicted. Here's more of a reaction.
The only man that ever stood up for me in my fucking life.
Through and through.
Donald Trump didn't do a thing for this man. It's unbelievable. The Messiah cult-like complex around Donald Trump. The economy wasn't that great. He really didn't produce anything. But this man has, filled that void, at Davey point. He's got daddy issues. It's something like that, though. It is. It's kind of a religious kind of thing, right? And he's attributing all these great things. I mean, come on, how great is this guy's life already, right? And I don't want to get into that kind of disparaging, but you know what I mean? It's very, very cult-like is basically what I'm trying to get at here. It's very frightening, but what is reassuring is the crowd size. It's the fact that it's not Hitlerian at all. It's a bunch of kooky weirdos. It's a bunch of kooky weirdos that are the most vocal like this. And I'm not saying that but it really does feel like this might be a tipping point for a lot of these middle class Republicans. And like I said before, they're not going to be switching over to Biden. Oh, no, of course not. They're just going to sit this one out. What's amazing is the polling right now, which is still coming back 50-50. How are they doing these polls? Do they got rotary telephones or something? How could it possibly be 50-50 at this point? So I'm interested to see some polling in the next couple days. I don't know if anyone, hey, strategy member, if you could do me a favor, if there's been any kind of rapid polling of any kind, since the announcement yesterday, I'd be interested to know how this is actually hitting the you know, the voting electorate, you know, the electorate, I mean.
Donald fucking Trump.
Here's more of a reaction.
The only man that ever stood up for me in my fucking life.
That's true. Yeah.
Donald fucking Trump.
Oh my God.
Fucking Obama.
Yo, that motherfucker just won the election. I'll tell you that much.
He's crying.
Fuck Joe Biden.
Not guilty.
I hope the country doesn't burn
He's
down.
still squawking not guilty in the
I
background.
hope that we can find a way to love each other and to make right this fucking this prostitution.
Wait, hold on. Press pause for a second.
Make right this prostitution. I mean, look, it's ridiculous because he doesn't really, you know, he can't really articulate it. It's this weird toxic mix of ignorance, stupidity, Dunning-Kruger, where you have this like amazing confidence, and what allows it is what's ironic is that what allows it is this democracy that we have. He gets to live in a world where his words have zero consequences, and he gets to still go about his day, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm okay with that. I love democracy. I love free speech. But when you can't see the forest for the trees, you know, you maybe you can't see the forest fire coming, right? And I think that's the situation here. He's living in the lap of luxury, really, compared to a lot of other nations, a lot of other countries, you know. And look, there might be a good chance that he doesn't even vote. Okay, a guy like this, like he doesn't even vote. It's a whole mental thing. Okay, but this is amateur analysis here. Yeah, he's MAGA. He's not Republican. Yeah, great point. That's actually a really good point. There does appear to be a delineation. There is this old, you know, Mitch McConnell GOP that is capitulating to MAGA because they have to because of the votes. But yeah, there is a difference, isn't there? This is only going to fire up the MAGA base. How does it affect swing voters in battleground states? Maybe it'll fire up a section, the extreme section. But there's the petite bourgeois within the Republicans. You know, the $500,000 a year. You know, I own a store of some kind. I own a couple parking garages. You know, I'm like, you know, I got a couple $1 million in assets. You know, kind of Republicans, the ones that showed up to January 6th, actually, the ones that had the money to. You know, tell their employees to, you know, okay, you keep working. I'm gonna go do an insurrection really quick. We saw them, like owners of hair salons and car dealerships. They are the ones that are going to be maybe affected by this. That might make a decision based off this. Yeah, not Republicans, the non-MAGA Republicans. Yeah, okay, well, Patriot. Yeah. MAGA and Republican are two different things. Trump's, yeah. All right, let's get it. Let's keep going. Let's keep going here.
This prostitution.
Wait, hold on. Press pause for a
Literally
second.
crying.
The guy is saying.
Literally crying. Okay. Once again, you know, make sure you check out the Humanist Report video for their commentary. It's really good stuff.
This is more of a copy, like, oh, you think that you have the last laugh type of thing, but let's
Yeah, Davey.
Congratulations,
pretty-
Trump just
yeah.
won the election.
Trump just was convicted guilty.
It is the
And he
same
just won
guy.
the 2024 election. Fucking congratulations, Donald Trump. New York City loves you. Robert De Niro, you're a rat, motherfucker.
I mean, De Niro, yeah. This is like the Bing video where the guy was started shitting on Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson, fuck your life. Fuck you, Robert De Niro. Fuck you, Robert De Niro. This is the definition of cope, by the way. What I was going to say here. This is literally a man coping. This is literally a man, you know. Hopefully calmer heads prevailed. He went back to his hotel room or back to his apartment in New York and calmed down. Hopefully. You know, hopefully he's not you know, thinking of doing something. Because I mean, this kind of state of mind can be really, really dangerous.
Convicted guilty.
It is the
And he
same
just
guy.
won the 2024 election. Fucking congratulations, Donald Trump. New York City loves you. Robert De Niro, you're a rat, motherfucker.
Congratulations.
Fuck you, Pete Davidson. No, that's great.
I don't know the incredible Spider-Man version of Trump. I have no idea. It's like a different reality.
He does. He has the same hair, the same attitude. Honestly,
Gays for Trump. Oh, sorry,
okay.
you can't see his
Here we
shirt
go.
there.
Wait, what does his shirt say? I love. Wait. Go back to the beginning for a second. Wait, go back to the beginning for a second.
He's wearing a
I
clown
love
outfit.
Donald
for
Trump.
Trump.
You got a problem with that? You got a problem?
You got a problem with that, bitch?
You got
No
a problem with that,
question
bitch?
Why would I care? I think it's weird that you wear the shirt.
Yeah, it's
I'll
weird.
make fun of you for the shirt.
No,
but if you
it's-
just said like you're
Really, this is a message to his fellow Republicans, if anything. This is I love Donald Trump, and you got a problem with that, bitch. It's almost like a message to his fellow Republicans.
Donald Trump supporter, why would I care? I don't give a
Probably
shit.
a small government excuse when it
Well,
comes.
I'm
to
a
the rights of
homosexual
women.
and I love Trump. Okay, fuck you. Like, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what is it? What does it say?
All that Hashem, all that small government rhetoric is really just that. They have an extremist Christian theological worldview. A lot of them, and it's really just however they can get to that point where they can make it illegal for a woman to be independent. And if it's small government that that is the excuse that gets them there, then so be it.
Hey, what does his hat say? Joe
the Ho. Oh my God, that's so bad. Joe the Ho gotta go. Yikes.
Joe and the Ho.
That's a very corny, campy thing. This guy is definitely, I'm thinking, he's actually, that's a pretty campy thing, I gotta say. That's like something John Waters would wear.
Joe gotta go.
Joe
That's
and
what
the
it said.
Ho
If he was a
gotta
Republican.
go.
Yeah.
okay.
Oh my God.
That's
What
so-
did
Yeah.
Kamala
That
do
is
to them
cringe.
other than be a woman? I mean, what
That's
is-
it.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Go where you belong.
Yeah.
Go where you belong.
Go where you belong. You sound daddy. Stay away from us. Fuck.
He's snapping at people with his Fuck Biden t-shirt, wearing an actual and literal clown outfit. I'm sorry, man. The shit's gone well. It's so funny to see comedy, because it used to be comedy was like, it was all about George Bush and Barack Obama, and there was like so much material, and they've just like backed away from it because the absurdity and danger of this whole thing getting wildly out of control, and then them looking like they weren't taking it seriously, like South Park being really embarrassed. Like if there's like a legitimate civil war or something, South Park over here feeling like idiots, diminishing the danger of Donald Trump kind of, by satirizing him in a way. It's so interesting that, that this what I'm trying to say is that this stuff isn't part of the zeitgeist, the politics, the day-to-day politics as it used to be through comedy, because it's so hard to satirize. It's so hard to make fun of because it's already there. This is like, some kind of, black proto, Monty Python sketch. You know what I mean? This is right out of that, that kind of political satire era right here. This whole thing, wearing a shirt, that's patently absurd, wearing a costume patently absurd, and demanding to be taken seriously.
Go where you belong. Go where you belong. You sound daddy. Stay away from us. Motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here.
You gonna vote for a traitor?
Get the fuck out of here. You're the faggot. You're the faggot. You're the faggot. Get the fuck out of here, bitch. You have a cunt. You're a little pussy. You're a pussy. You're a pussy. You hear me? You're a little pussy. Little shrivelly pussy. That's what you are. That's all you are. Is a cunt. You're not even a man.
We're gonna eat you. We're gonna eat you and your
Yeah.
fucking
Oh, I'm so proud of you. Oh, you little bitch.
Knock him down. There is no motherfucker down. Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of New York City.
Out of here.
Pussy. You little pussy. You little pussy. Get the fuck.
Now imagine this guy in a full-blown steam room gangbang, okay? And you'll and like the absurdity. This is it's you can't make fun of this. You can't make fun of it any more than what it already is, as absurd as it is. Like, this man's raging, full-blown hypocrite, advocating for a man happily throwing his entire sexual preference. You can't help being gay. You can't help liking dick. That's just how it rolls. This is how the dice was rolled for you, bud. And here he is, like, demanding that this, what's interesting though is that Trump is a hypocrite himself, and the Republicans are actually, they're really only using this, this piety, this religious stuff as, as a tool. They themselves are hedonistic, and and I'm not saying being gay is hedonistic or depraved or anything like that, but I'm just saying these people in power that are using religion, that are using this shaming liberals for shaming gay people for what they perceive as deviants, are actually way more deviant themselves. And as we've already seen, they're not even in Trump isn't even in office, and we're already seeing relaxing laws on child marriage and child labor. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets in, and like the rules around sexual promiscuity, it'll get really weird, right? Where it might still lean against regular homosexuality, regular normal homosexuality. It'll push against that while opening up the door for a whole new level of depravity and hedonism, with the laxing of the child marriage and child labor laws. So it's actually kind of interesting how this dynamic is playing out, at least in front of me. And once again, being gay is not deviant or anything like that. But it's the irony of it all. It's like 6 layers of irony. It goes so deep. It's hard to even analyze sometimes.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of New York City. Out of here. Pussy. You little pussy. You little pussy. Get the fuck out.
So you support Israel and Gaza. So you support Israel's ethnic cleansing campaign, and then you also support the Palestinians' right to defend themselves. That's a tough one, Hashim. That's a tough one, bud. It's hard to both sides, Israel and Gaza. It's hard to both sides, Israel and Palestine. You know what I mean? I mean, Israel has a right to ethnically cleanse the Palestinians, but the Palestinians have a right to respond to that ethnic cleansing. So, I'm right down the middle, baby. Right in the center.
We have to go back.
Okay, yeah, so let's see. Let's just keep...
So much. I would.
You support a traitor? You want to support a traitor seditionist? Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you! Fuck you! I hope your children die! It's like this is supposed to be the reasonable... this is supposed to be the reasonable group. We got a link here from Davey. Let's take a look. Don't be shy to put in your links, funny memes. You got some funny memes about this? If you've seen some funny ones, go ahead, put that shit in the chat. You lost the naked cowgirl. Yeah. All right. When you've lost the naked cowgirl, wow. This ought to be great. And once again, I'm on the left. I think this is great. Be a trans person, be a cross-dresser, be a gay person of any shape and size and flavor, right? I'm all for that. What I'm laughing at is the hypocrisy of the right. Right? There's gay people, there's trans people, there's cross-dressers, there's people with weird sex kinks, on the right. They got all the weird stuff, right? But we're supposed to believe that they, because they're so Christian and they're above it all. It's just embarrassing at this point. You know, who was the guy who stuck his dick through the glory hole at the, oh, what was it, Larry something? What was it, Larry something? He stuck his dick in the glory hole at the airport. Come on, guys, we know what's going on. That's what I'm laughing at. It is the hypocrisy. So I just want to make clear, this is not a gay bashing thing. Was it? No, not Larry Summers. Was it? No. Who was the guy? Apparently, the cop who busted him in the police report, it says, you know, that the politician, the wide stance guy, yeah, the wide stance guy. But no, apparently, when he was busted, he could be heard saying "no" in the stall. Because he knew he was stone cold busted. He knew it was going to be a big scandal. He just wanted his dick sucked really quick before he left the airport. And, you know, because he's probably done it a few times. It was actually a well-known... Larry Craig, that's what it was. It was Larry Craig. So come on, guys. All right? That's what I'm laughing at, is the hypocrisy, not the lifestyle choice.
You deserve jail, man. You know, you belong in jail, Donald. I used to love you, but you let me down. You let me really down with the COVID and January 6th. So I hope you go to jail. And
that's great.
I really do. I think if we did what you did, we'd be in jail already.
Yeah.
So there wouldn't even be a trial. We'd be in jail.
I mean, is this person topless as well? Is this person straight up topless as well? Yeah, wow. Naked cowgirl of Times Square, Sandy Kane. Wow. Yeah, she's high. I mean, you know, she probably had a very interesting life. There's probably okay, so this person isn't even gay. She's just an interesting person. Okay. And you know what? She's an interesting crack. We're not gonna say. You know what? Because look, as zoinked out as she is, as you know, interesting as she is, she's an interesting soul. She's expressing herself in an interesting way. She's not harming anybody. Even she can't abide, which really does say something. That even she can, you know, see through. It's like because it's just the sheer amount, you know. Like there's, you know, if there's one, if it isn't one thing, it's another. Yeah. So I think that's great. And yeah, that is bad news. Again, Midas Report guys over here. Don't worry, we're gonna get it. We got so much more. Okay, we got so much more here. Oh yeah, okay. They're showing the free Father Teresa image. They're so fucked, dude. That's Tony Barbari. What is he, a Christo-fascist? Oh, is he trolling? Okay, thank you for pointing that out. I didn't know. Okay, this guy. Okay, so he's okay, so it's an actor. Oh, that loses its appeal for me if it's not ironic.
Okay, this is actually a callback.
I gotta see the.
I don't watch Jimmy Kimmel. Come on, buddy. It's ironic. Well, no, but it's not unironic. Yeah, I mean, I wish it was, you know, unironic. The Jimmy Kimmel segment. Are you kidding me? Jimmy Kimmel. My shit'll get DMCA'd. I can't show Jimmy Kimmel on here. Fucking MSNBC or the goddamn media conglomerate. Billion-dollar media conglomerate will DMCA my shit. I'm getting all kinds of flags on YouTube for showing like DW News. It's like, fuck you, DW. You don't own the fucking news. Ridiculous. They get to copyright news. I don't even know how the hell does that even work. Guy's hilarious. He goes trolling the pro-Trumpers at the courthouse. Okay. It's really funny. Okay, this like the free Father Teresa. It's just really funny, actually. It's just an amazing. Okay. Well, if someone wants to find the link to the thing, put it in the chat, and everyone else can enjoy it. I can't show it on I can't show fucking Jimmy Kimmel. Come on, I'll get in trouble.
All right, so this is before the reaction. He's already fucking fired up, so it gives you a little bit more context as to why he was so much more pissed after the verdict was read.
Joe the
It better
Ho
be-
gotta go.
There's a verdict. It better be it better be innocent. It better be fucking innocent.
What? Press pause
Go
for a
inside
second.
the courthouse.
Oh, press
Near
pause for
the
a second. For one, he's asking for the impossible. There's never a verdict where someone is declared innocent.
Fuck you. Fuck you. No crime. Nothing. There is nothing. Fuck. No crime. There's no crime. Where's the crime? No crime committed. Yeah. Fuck you. It better be innocent. Yeah. I'm waiting for the verdict.
This is how he talks to people he agrees with.
It better be innocent.
There is nothing. Whoa!
I don't even know what's going on there.
What the fuck? That's what that looked like? That's what that looked like?
Better be innocent.
Bro, what the fuck? Fuck, man. You know, it's like I as a person who enjoys street art and and interpretive art and things like that, I'm actually impressed. It's horrifying. It's frightening. It's evocative. I don't really understand. Who is this supposed to be? Is this supposed to be like Juggalo Hillary Clinton? Is this supposed to be the judge? Is this supposed to be what? My goodness. But it's all in support of fascist dictatorship. Like some weird. I wonder. Because there were Nazis in America. Did they do any kind of like Nazi, street performances? Because I know they had that big thing in Madison Square Garden. They had that big meeting there, but this is so crazy. This is so bizarre.
Nothing.
I don't even know what's going on there.
What is going on?
Like,
I love New York. It's so fucking weird.
like what is this?
What
and
is
I love
it?
how
Out
this,
of nowhere. What the
it
fuck
sounded
is
like
that?
he was saying to the other guy, "Fuck you,"
Yeah.
until he realized that he was on his side. Let me go back a little bit.
Okay, no.
He heard a guy.
No, because he's like on a roll. He's saying "fuck you" to the world. He's saying "fuck you," because he's just flipping out. He's having a manic moment. I've had stuff like that where I'm using a lot of expletives, and it might sound like I'm actually cursing at the person when really I'm just cursing. I'm just like loud, and and just the person I'm interacting with just has to deal with it. I've gotten better.
Disgusting, aren't they? What disgusting people. What do you think about the response that happened? You were having a conversation with them. Well, we were actually here purely for entertainment value. We're from England. Oh, God. Take your tea. Get the fuck out of my car.
We got it. Fuck the queen. Fuck the king.
Fucking cunt.
She's leaving.
The perfect welcome back.
Jeez.
So wow. So this is supposed to be right. This is supposed to be freedom. This is supposed to be liberty. And like we all know what this is. And we should not take their threats seriously. Here's the thing: when they say, "Oh, watch out, we're going to do a civil war. Watch out, we're going to do a civil war. If you do justice against our criminals, and if you don't vote for our politicians, we'll do a civil war." Do it, bitch. That's what I say to every one of them. Look, because I don't want to see any violence, but they think they're legion. They think that they have, that they'll spark. They thought January 6th, twice as large as what it actually was, and everyone agrees with it. Everyone, the people who are quiet are the ones that really agree with us. Just do it. Get it out of your system. Get it out of your system. This perpetual will they, won't they is driving me crazy. Because you're up in Canada. No, I say it. I say it not because I'm up in Canada, but that's a fair point. I say it because it wouldn't be the mass uprising that they think it's going to be. They only have this power through the few politicians that are actually in place. This idea that there's a consensus of America wants Trump and this is he's America's choice, total lie. The sad fact is that a grand majority of Americans don't really express their opinions on what they want politically. Welcome back, Borderline Feline. I'm trying to be Canadian. I'm currently a permanent resident. But I just this it's not going to be an uprising of the people civil war. It's going to be this minority empowered by the law. It's going to be this minority, inserting itself into our democracy and destroying our democracy, and then enabling that minority, these MAGAs, these extreme right-wing Republicans, enabling that through the law. It'll be that style civil war. You know how right before January 6th, Donald Trump did everything he could to weaken the Capitol Police, and he told them he didn't give them orders. He told them there were confusing orders. MSNBC doesn't talk about this much, but there were orders about treating this crowd with kid gloves, and there wasn't enough staff there. Their equipment apparently was inadequate. There was I remember reporting on crumbling shields, because shields that were unused, because the idea of like a big riot at the Capitol was was unheard of, and so their equipment was inadequate, et cetera, et cetera. It will be the law. It will be the president's office. It'll be the Justice Department assisting this minority in an insurgent. Kind of like what we see with Iran. I've said this before. Kind of like what we see with Iranians' morality police, where they deputize these political religious extremists to be, to enforce their thuggery on the street level. That's what we're going to see. We're going to see MAGA kind of deputized in a way, or kind of maybe what the IDF does with settlers, and just kind of sitting back and watching as as the MAGA extremists start inflicting violence on a left-wing protest, stuff like that. It's going to be enabled by the law. That's the kind of civil war we're going to have to deal with. Do we have to worry about these maniacs in clown masks rising up? Yeah, I mean, we have to worry about individual lone wolves who are going to commit gun massacres, because those happen every single day. But we don't have to worry about is what they envision as some populist uprising, guerrilla warfare against the Joe Biden deep state, military versus the people. No, like I said, it's going to be assisted by the government, by the Justice Department, and this minority is going to be in a way deputized and used against the general populace.
Out of here! Burning hell, you liberal fuck!
What did they do?
So a character like that will be empowered in a way, either explicitly or quietly, undocumented, kind of under the table. Like I said, like the IDF, standing back and letting settlers commit violence against people. Oh, we didn't see it, or oh, they're just defending themselves. These kind of characters will be enabled in a way by the Trump Justice Department, right? And we actually there's a clear example already on the table. And look, I don't mean to interrupt the flow here, because I want to get through this whole video, but there was a pardon in Texas. There was a Daniel Perry here who was a political terrorist who committed terrorism against left-wingers, and has been allowed to make a really lazy, half-assed, stand-your-own-ground argument, and failed because he was a fucking murderer. And has been pardoned by the governor. This murderer, this political terrorist, this right-wing political terrorist, has already been pardoned by Governor Greg Abbott, the governor in Texas. So it's just a small sample of exactly what I'm talking about, where it's not going to be like this, millions rise against millions of right-wing MAGA people, rise up. No. It's going to be, I mean, look at these individuals, right? Deputized, immunized by the justice system when they commit violence against the left. All right. So hopefully you understand what I'm talking about here.
Burning hell, you liberal fuck!
What did they do? They just walk through.
And we enjoy watching Trump on the TV, and we cannot. John! Oh.
I just love what she's like.
Come on,
They
John.
discuss-
Come on, John. Let this woman talk, dude. I love this. This is the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Spitting image. Fuck spitting image. This is the fucking funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. She's like laughing in their fucking faces, and they're fucking flipping out at how funny she finds this whole thing. Oh my God. That's pretty hilarious.
Sting. Like this moment
This
right
woman
here
rules.
That's gotta be they're absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Disgusting, aren't they? What disgusting. Disgusting, aren't they? What disgusting people. What do you
It's
think
like she's
by the
talking
response
about like a
that
bunch of
happened?
animals. Disgusting.
No, totally. And this is the kind of disrespect that fascists deserve. And look, does it get them pissed? Are these people unstable? Are these people violent? Yes. But shame works. Okay? Shame works. And shame is an important function of society functioning. Okay? Fascistic authoritarian behavior should be shamed. There's nothing wrong with that. Fascists deserve to be shamed. They deserve to be laughed at. Now, substance eventually does have to enter the conversation when talking about fascists and how they, subvert democracies using the rules of democracy, right? So it's not all fun and game. But I think shame and laughter and ridicule is an important tool. Because look how powerful it is in keeping minorities and keeping people who don't deserve it, keeping them down, right? Shaming. We should shame the things that are actually shameful, not the things that should be set free. LGBTQ, homosexuality in general, transgenderism. Those things don't deserve to be shamed. What deserves to be shamed is authoritarian fascistic behavior. That titled Trump supporters go apeshit. She's great.
Disgusting, aren't they?
God, British people, sometimes they deliver. Most
do, apparently.
Yeah, they deliver, right? He's such a millennial. My God. I'm here for it.
That's true. You don't want to preemptively give a British person credit.
Right. Definitely don't. And I speak as someone who's part British.
I love Mike. I just think it's really cute, all these millennial mannerisms. I'm more aware of them now, I guess.
Brit.
So I cannot tell. I think this guy is the same dude who was crying, but this is a different.
Does he have the mask
scene.
on?
I don't know if this is the same day. It's still from Freedom News. Oh, it is the same guy. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's another confrontation.
It's honestly the same three people every time.
Yeah, no, it really is interesting how they're just. I've seen this myself. I've been to protests where there's more media than protesters. And the media kind of doesn't know what to do. And what's interesting as well, random people are just like, this is kind of, instead of getting a newspaper and holding onto the newspaper, like, man lands on the moon, they kind of like, I'm just going to get a minute of this freakazoid crying about his favorite authoritarian criminal getting convicted. This is kind of a historic moment. I'm going to get a little keepsake. It is interesting. When you're doing street performance, when you're putting yourself out there, it's a double-edged sword where it's like, I know these people think I'm an idiot, but I'm getting my message out there. And quite frankly, he did. His insane psychopathic message has been, he's been given basically $1 billion of free advertising, all across MSNBC and liberal media. I'm sure they're showing this guy all over the place.
Time. It's the gay for Trump supporter. It is this guy who said he wanted to murder everyone's
Nice
kids,
lyrics,
and then 2 seconds
homie.
before or after that, we're still not sure, talked about how I don't know if the country will ever get back to loving each other again. And then there's that woman with the deep voice who just goes.
Like I said, it's really great podcast, kind of fodder, right? So I'm skipping through it. I apologize once again to the Rational National. I just want to get to the golden nuggets here.
Hillbilly is not a race, you asshole.
Oh, okay. So
hillbilly is not a race, you asshole.
Crazy that said, just be warned. I'm sure that there will be crazy shit.
Hillbilly is not a race, you asshole.
Oh, Rich over here spitting them lyrics. You keep going, Rich. You keep trying, buddy.
Oh, okay. So
Wait, did he
called
just
him
say hillbilly is not a race?
Yeah, so he debate is about.
He's not a racist.
Okay, white trash. I'm sorry.
Okay, white trash.
Fucking losers.
What's next? You gonna call me a faggot?
You're a loser.
Okay.
You're a treasonous loser.
You are
Get the fuck out of here.
I'll
You're
get
not
a
even from
transsexual
here.
to beat your ass.
Okay, all right.
What is? I mean,
It's interesting. It's interesting that he's throwing around the FAGs. He's like, I thought he was like friends with the gay guy, but he's using FAGs as a. I was wondering why he wasn't throwing out the FAGs in the prior rants. That's interesting. He wasn't throwing out the FAGs when he was hanging out next to his gay friend. Anyone else notice that? I was like, where's the N words? Where's the FAGs? They love busting those out. But when he wasn't doing that with his gay buddy in the area, but now I don't see him around, and now he's busting out the FAGs. That is interesting. That's actually kind of progressive in its own bizarre way, isn't it?
the two monkeys
He's showing respect for the gay community.
fighting and everyone just cheering on the outside.
God, this is wild to me. Okay, I'll go back a tiny bit.
Out of here.
I'll
You're
get
not
a
even from
transsexual
here.
to beat your ass.
And yeah, making anti-trans comments too. He wasn't doing that in the prior rant.
Go there.
You're a loser.
Running out of space. You're running out of space. You're running out of
You
space.
think I'm afraid of you,
You will
asshole?
be. You will be.
Fucking loser.
Hey, and big props to this guy. This is what we need to do. We need to get behind him. We need to support him. Okay, because there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, this is awkward. This is confrontation. You know, why do this?" I think it's good to confront fascism and push back on it, and like I said, ridicule and shame it.
Loser.
Beat this guy's ass.
No, borderline. No, it does not. It does not have it. I don't even think. I think actually handguns are illegal in New York, if I remember correctly.
You're a loser.
Go there. Oh my God, you smell like alcohol.
Let's see you say that to
Get
him.
away from me. Get out of my face. No, suck my dick. Suck my dick.
The one thing, I've been in several protests where, I've noticed it's kind of a tactic on the right wing to get in your face and ask you a bunch of really provocative questions, get you really, really worked up, insult you, say, it's really interesting. And my reaction, what I like to do is say nothing. I usually like to stand with a sign for as long as possible in the spots, in direct visible, it's so that my opponent can see me at all times. But I just refuse to engage. Right? I let the sign do the speaking. And if you refuse to engage with them, they lose all motivation to rile you up, to get in your face. But the techniques are really, really interesting. I even had one woman. It was a pro-vaccination protest that I was at. And this woman was weaponizing. She was like, "Oh, I have allergies to vaccinations, and how dare you? And you have such an evil stare, and oh, you're making me feel so uncomfortable with your stare." I was like literally saying nothing and just looking at her. But it was interesting how she was weaponizing, her medical issue, because there are people with legitimate vaccination who need legitimate vaccination exemptions because they're allergic, and those exemptions exist. There's a special process for those people. Unfortunately, though, I think one of my criticisms during COVID was how heavy-handed some of the rules were, and there weren't special exemptions for people who had, who were the very, very rare people that had allergic reactions to vaccinations and stuff. There really wasn't any way for you to get an exemption and, go about your life as normal. You were basically stuck. So I could imagine for those people, it did feel like they were being forced to take a vaccine against their will. Anyway, diatribe over. Back to this.
nervous? No, not at all.
That's the woman I'm talking about. In the last video, she's calling that British woman a cunt. In this video, she's
No,
telling this guy
Hashim,
to
you do
suck
the exact
her dick.
opposite. So no, Hashim, you do the exact opposite. You know, because like that's in your head. You're like, oh, I'm gonna do this thing, and that'll like slam dunk, and then I'll win. No, they're shameless. They're impervious to those kind of things. They want you to come right down into that little mud pit that they've dug, and they want you to sling it out. Right? Who was it? Hemingway that said, you know, don't you know, have a contest with stupid people. You know, they're much more skilled than you at being stupid. You know, is basically what he's trying to say. So that's that. You know, if that's my protest technique. You're welcome to do whatever you want at the protest, as long as you're at the protest. That's the most important thing. But what I'm just trying to say is that I've just noticed that it's a right-wing tactic. And they seemingly do it without any training. It's really interesting. But they really do try to get you, you know, they want you to look as foolish as they are, knowing that the bar is higher for you as a liberal, that it's easier for you to look like a fool than it is for the right wing. You know, it goes back to what Sart was talking about with the anti-Semite and all that. We won't get into it.
What the fuck is going on out here?
But I'm just calling everybody that just like a pedo. Yeah, you know, and that's actually kind of like the clarion call of an ignorant person, right? You know, oh, you're a communist, you're a fascist. You know, you see it on the left, right? Oh, you're a fascist, when something is really just, you know, more authoritarian. When I call something a fascistic or fascist, it is, I have proof of that. It's not just something I disagree with and don't like. And people argue with me on that. Oh, no, you don't. You use it all the time. I use it all the time because we're actually in a very fascist era right now. Okay, fascist is having its Taylor Swift era moment right now, and there's a lot of actual overt fascism that's right on display. So that's when I'm using that term, I'm trying to use it accurately. But that's an example of how the left will use hyperbolic language. Ignorant people on the left use hyperbolic language because they don't really understand. They don't really have the words to describe what they actually mean. And there's other reasons as well, you know, of course, blah, blah, blah. I'm not an expert on that.
Get your fucking foot off. You touch me, that's assault.
See, yeah.
I did not.
He just assaulted.
I stepped on his shoe on accident.
See, you know, that's, and like, no, this isn't a good look. This because he thinks the cops are on his side. You know, he's obviously being a provocateur. I don't know. I'm okay with ridicule. I'm okay with laughter. I'm not okay with, you know, weaponizing the police and trying to manipulate, you know, in this way. I find it a little, I don't know.
Ready?
Uncouth. I don't like it when the right does it.
I'm gay and you're anti-gay.
I'm okay with that.
Anti-gay.
Fuck out!
Isn't that great? Isn't that great?
I'm a gay gangster.
Get the fuck out! Where you going, loser? Get the fuck out!
This is so pathetic. This is really, honestly pathetic. It really is. This is why we shouldn't, you know, laugh at them, ridicule them, say fuck you all day. But you know, don't be a provocateur and have to be escorted away by police. I don't know. That's just not a good look.
Where you going, loser? You're going where you belong.
The hillbillies.
Go back to where you belong.
It's literally 3-1 media. It's literally 3-1 media versus protesters. This is a minority of a minority of a minority. This is a microcosm in a microcosm. Are you kidding me? This is like maximum zoom, maximum enhance. You know what I mean? This is like the fight between two cells, you know, in your immune system. You know what I mean?
Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out!
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with name calling and saying, you know, fuck you, fascist, and all those things, and, you know, getting animated. What I don't like is the weaponization of the police in this kind of way, you know, kind of hiding behind the police, things like that. But they the right kind of forces that, right? Because this man was kind of standing there saying expressing his free speech, and then this guy with the flag was getting animated. Fuck you, FAG, I'm gonna kick your ass, and it's like, you either meet that, or or do you acquiesce, to this pretend tough guy over here? It's like, so it's a stupid game you have to play. That's why I prefer to hold my sign. Like, what I would have done in this situation is I would have held a sign that said Trump guilty, cry about it, or something, and said nothing else. But I would have followed him around, like I would have, not like right behind him, like shoving my sign right in his face, but just in his eyesight, wherever he goes, wherever he moves, I just quietly follow with my sign until he leaves. All right, he gets up in my face, they're screaming at me. I just hold my sign. I say literally nothing. I've done this a few times, I just make sure that if whatever direction he's looking in, I'm standing there quietly. They fucking hate that. They hate that, because what they want you to do is start screaming at them, and get start talking to them on their level, calling them FAGs and all that. All right. Rittenhouse was in the algorithm over here on Twitter. I found this interesting. People are talking about Rittenhouse saying, "Oh, this is a miscarriage of justice," which is just beyond irony. Beyond irony. And here comes Davey to type in that he still thinks Kyle Rittenhouse was innocent. He's at the very least guilty of one murder. But I'm willing to entertain the whole, defending himself from the other guy. We could talk about Rittenhouse all day. But I just found it interesting that he's in the algorithm. He was coming up and trending because people are making the point. Illiterate little punk. I'm no better with grammar and literacy, so I can't really make fun of people, but you are woke patriot, so you're more than welcome to. When George Zimmerman was acquitted, you said respect the verdict. When Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted, you said the jury had spoken. The jury has spoken about Donald J. Trump. Respect the verdict. I mean, it sucks, but we have to be nuanced about this, because not every judge is the same. Not every courthouse is the same. There have been some extreme miscarriages of justice. O.J. Simpson, Kyle Rittenhouse. And then there are exemplary, examples of legitimate, investigations, legitimate, deliberations. Guys, one of the members of the jury, and what I'm trying to say is that that's what we're seeing here with Trump. One of the members of the jury was like News Nation watched, right-wing, extreme right-wing media. I was really expecting a hung jury. I was hearing about some of these jurors. I was really expecting, okay, one of these people is going to be a partisan. But the evidence, that's the thing. That's why I showed that wire clip. The documents have the names on them. It's a documented crime, and it's actually pretty, cut and dry. Yeah, stone cold guilty. Not the first time this kind of, it's the first time an ex-president has been convicted of a felony, but it's not the first felony of this type. I just thought that was interesting, seeing Kyle Rittenhouse. But no, I wanted to go through, just type Trump into Twitter here. Trump executed. It's over. Your kids are dead. Your kids are dead. It's over. People lie so much. I thought the jury lied about being conservative. Look, it is literally impossible to find a robotic person who doesn't have an opinion one way or the other. The Trump team took jury selection really, really, really serious. But Judge Merchan didn't let it, you know, like they wanted the jury selection process to go on for months and months. That's what they wanted. You know, oh, I don't like him, I don't like him, I don't like it. But Judge Merchan put some really hard limits on what he could and couldn't do. So yeah, the process. But look, this is how the process. This is a great example of the process working as it should. The Donald Trump had every opportunity to defend himself, to present evidence, to, you know, he had every opportunity. This was a 100% legit investigation. Everything. It was all legit. There was no bias. Judge Merchan, oftentimes on the prosecution, you know, they made all kinds of mistakes. Judge Merchan was just as harsh on them as he was on Trump. But that is not the case with Kyle Rittenhouse, by the way. The judge in the Kyle Rittenhouse case took a selfie with Kyle Rittenhouse. Can you imagine if Judge Merchan found Donald Trump, you know, like, or like the jury finds him innocent, guilty on nothing. Judge Merchan takes a selfie, like Eileen Cannon, right? Takes a selfie with Trump. Oh, wow, look at this. Wow. Oh, okay. Oh, Twitter. Lefties shouldn't do this. Lefties shouldn't do the Tucker Carlson style misinformation. So I assume this is a lefty. Emmy losing writer, director, comedian. Oh, I see. Jimmy Kimmel. Okay, so he's associated with these I'm with her MSNBC style liberals. This is just misinformation. Screenshots from 2020. Yeah, Fox News absolutely did cover. We're going to be doing a whole Sean Hannity video. We're going to count how many lies Sean Hannity tells in 11 minutes. Yeah, the left should stay away from this. This is a bad look. Stop being with her, okay? Pete Davidson over here with his Hillary Clinton tattoo. It's amazing how these guys, they write for a TV show, right, about politics, right? They have to do like the jokes that Jimmy Kimmel tells when he walks out, right? So they follow politics pretty closely. And they still insist on being like myopic neoliberals. You know, when you're taking in all the information, Zach has to know how pathetic of a leader Joe Biden actually is compared to what he could be, compared to the promises, compared to, you know, what the kind of power that he actually has, the kind of left policies he could be championing and enacting and pushing. But he has to see all that. He has to see all that, but he just puts on the neoliberal blinders anyway. And does this hackneyed shit. This is hack shit. No wonder you work for Jimmy Kimmel. Welcome back, Lenny, south of Boston. But he's over there in Tampa right now. Greetings from Tampa on his way to St. Louis. Watch out, world. Lenny's on the road. Lenny coming at you. Lenny coming to a city near you. Well, Lenny, I hope you're driving safe. Keep your eyes off the phone. From Calls a Revolution to discussing Greek tragedy, here's how Fox News coped with yesterday's Trump verdict. Ooh, hey, a pretty Zoomer is going to tell us all about the news, guys. All right, this is my kind of news format. I'm down with this. Okay.
If you don't watch Fox News, here are 5 totally real and definitely not made up stories.
Yeah, absolutely, John. We're going to be covering Ukraine in detail tomorrow. Lots of great news. Russia being halted across the board.
You might have missed this week. Trump's guilty edition. Yesterday, a New York jury found former President Donald Trump guilty on all 34 counts in his hush money trial. And Fox News didn't take it great.
I'd like to have our constitutional republic back.
These evil men and women will be vanquished.
Revolution is in our DNA. We are fighters, and I hope it's only at the ballot box.
This is a textbook Stalinist kangaroo court banana republic Orwellian show trial.
This is what you see in banana republics.
Banana republic garbage.
Soviet-style justice.
Soviet-style show trial.
We've got a kangaroo court.
This is a kangaroo court.
No, I mean, it's It is the antithesis of all of these things that they're saying. This was a fair trial, evidence presented. Defense had every opportunity to defend themselves and present legitimate evidence. The reason why Trump knew he was guilty from the very beginning is because it was documented. It was so well documented that he committed this fraud.
This is so Orwellian.
I guess we all need, what, to shop at Banana Republic from now on?
Oh, come on, Laura. Come on. That's like some shit I would say. How many millions of dollars do you get? That's what you got, dude? Gotta shop at the Banana Republic, Laura? Oh, that one hurt. Oh, one more time.
This is so Orwellian.
I guess we all need, what, to shop at Banana Republic from now on? Because that's what it feels like. Yeah, a Banana Republic.
If any of that sounds
Got him.
familiar, it's because they say this every time Trump has a legal issue of
Got
any
it.
sort. In fact, they said it so often in 2022 that I made a fake horror
that
movie
right, Lenny?
trailer titled The Deep State's Revenge: Dawn of the Banana Republics. But
Okay.
this time is different, of course. This
I should do that. I should be pretty and then also reference old videos and remember them and stuff. Stupid, not pot smoking Zoomers, straight edge. Do you have a glass of wine every year? Fucking Zoomers.
time it was rigged. I mean, how else could Donald Trump lose? He was represented by the greatest legal mind of our time, Donald Trump.
How involved was Donald Trump in his own defense?
I mean, very involved. And he's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing.
Okay, but like, does he? I mean, did you see the verdict? Hope he pays you, though. That's one thing he is not great at.
Donald Trump is the
Strongest man I've ever met.
Obviously, Jesse Waters, who was on the verge of tears all night, had a lot of thoughts about this verdict.
These are wicked people, whether Soros was involved in any way. This man's life is a Greek tragedy. From billionaire, bankruptcy, TV star, Hollywood Walk of Fame,
John, yes.
divorces, marriages, children.
Robert E.
And
Lee.
then you have
Yeah.
investigations and hoaxes and a pandemic.
Wait, was Robert E. Lee pro-Confederate, or was he the one that destroyed the Confederacy? I always get those two mixed up. Ulysses S. Grant was pro-Confederate. Robert E. Lee, Union? Those two mixed up. Oh, then no, I do not look like him. Confederacy, you know, it's the funniest point against the Confederacy. The annoying orange has lasted longer than the Confederacy. The YouTube channel, The Annoying Orange, that, speaking of millennial humor, has lasted longer than the Confederacy. And the entire thing, the Civil War, the whole thing. The Annoying Orange, more staying power.
First off, wow. Second, I love how Jesse cites the existence of Trump's children as part of a Greek tragedy. Don't get me wrong, I agree, but probably for different reasons. But it's even more laughable that Jesse wants to pretend Trump cares about his children. I mean, he threw a coup on one of their birthdays. Yeah, Eric's birthday is January 6th. I feel like we don't talk about this enough.
How many views does this have? 6 million? 6 trillion views? Good for her. Good for her. Not my style of humor, but good for her. My humor.
If you don't watch Fox News, here are 5 total.
There was not one single reference to a corpse. So how am I supposed to laugh at this, right? So it's like, what am I? You know, she's all happy, and happy people need their news too. Okay, happy people that are not cynical and destroyed inside also need their news. It's like her whole shtick is the exact opposite of mine. You gotta love. I love that. Great. She's day, I'm night. Republican voters against Trump. Here you go, Davey. All 6 of you left. She shouldn't be allowed to run if she wins. It would create an unprecedented constitutional crisis. So was he talking about what, Hillary?
She shouldn't be allowed to run. Okay, sure. And I'm not talking about what happened last Friday. I'm talking about right now. She shouldn't be allowed.
Oh, guys, did you know Donald Trump's a hypocrite? Wow, I love how this lefty hack that is spreading misinformation, you know, like a couple tweets up, is all over the Trump algorithm. How does that work? Does being connected to Jimmy Kimmel, like, You know, just being connected to one of these legacy media. What's the trick? What's the trick? He's not even verified. But he's connected to this Jimmy Kimmel legacy media shit, and he gets bumped way up in the algorithm. Over here making Home Alone jokes and spreading misinformation about Taco Bell being covered on Fox News instead of real information. Trump right now, this is the guy that did a Zoom meeting. He had a court hearing for expired license, driving with an expired license. And the motherfucker shows up to his court hearing on Zoom, driving in his car. Yeah. Not really. I thought it was going to be funnier. He's just kind of silent. He just kind of sits there quietly. J.D. Vance, really dangerous fascist. J.D. Vance, totally pro Project 2025, pro insurrection. Of course, famously wrote a book talking about how Trump was disgusting or whatever, made a bunch of disparaging comments against Trump when he was trying to be a centrist of some sort, but has since, kissed the ring and been quite a vocal bootlicker for Trump. But I got to say, he seems what makes him dangerous, J.D. Vance, is how he introduces and talks about these Orwellian authoritarian, policies, and just just totally calm, totally just sensible. We got to take away rights from women. We got to, we got to treat gay people as second-class citizens. And I would classify J.D. Vance as a smart fascist. And yeah, I would say definitely a potential candidate for Trump, because Trump isn't looking for Nikki Haley, like he's looking to bring Nikki Haley's, voters into him. He's not, he's looking for, he needs a sycophant. He needs a bootlicker, a yes man, a Mike Pence, who's going to quietly sit there, until the very, very end, almost like the movie Hannibal with the assistant, the assistant to the pedophile in that story, pushes him into the pig pit, right? At the very, very end, does something honorable, Mike Pence. That's what he's looking for. And J.D. Vance is a great candidate for that. So let's have a comment from him. Every comment made from J.D. Vance is disgusting and just makes you feel queasy inside, knowing what he represents, knowing what he wants to create and support. Because it sounds, like I said, it sounds sensible, calm. He knows it's, we got to treat gay people as, dangerous pedophiles. That's just the only way to do it. An example.
I believe that Donald Trump did nothing wrong, but if you take Alvin Bragg's argument, if you take every single thing in that indictment at face value, what it suggests is Donald Trump committed a paperwork violation. Is that 34 felony counts? Not in the country that I want to live in, not in the United States of America that I know and love.
You don't want to live in the United States?
I don't want to live in a New York sham prosecution. I would not live in New York State right now. Absolutely, I wouldn't.
And just that's Wolf trips you up with a single question. That's actually pretty pathetic. He's actually usually more slick than that. That was really sad. So you don't want to live in the United States? No, they don't want to live in the United States. They hate democracy. They hate our judicial justice system. They hate it. They want to destroy it. They want to make it partisan. They want to make it one way. So they get full immunity, and the people that they don't like, their political enemies, they get indicted. It's one rule of thumb. If characters like J.D. Vance, whatever they say, just do a 180. They say, oh, their opponent are, if their opponents are pedos and their opponents are anti-democratic and their opponents want to, raise your taxes, just do a 180. It's all projection, right? But they got the Matt Gaetz pedophiles, right? They got they're absolutely going to raise your taxes. Just do a 180. It's total projection of all the stuff that they want to do is what they'll accuse their enemies of doing. More Home Alone shit. Okay, some totally irrelevant. Here we go. This is what they're distracting you from the Trump verdict. Joe Biden gave permission to Ukraine. Oh, okay, yeah. So I've seen this as well. I was going through Fox a couple yesterday, and I was seeing this where they're like, oh, okay, yeah, Trump, that's big news, but oh, what about, World War III? If we keep pushing back on Putin, it's amazing to me, these so-called tough guys, these so-called patriots over here crumpling and wilting. Oh, well, Putin's going to start World War III. We got to let Putin win. That's a smart thing to do. We care about peace. Bunch of I was gonna my tongue. Oh, this hurts. I was gonna say Winston Churchill, but that's obviously incorrect. No, it was the guy before Winston Churchill capitulated to the Nazis. Right on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, there are a bunch of those guys. God damn it.
Weapons inside Russia.
On the tip of my
How do you feel about that?
Chamberlain!
I think that's the right decision.
Yes, there are a bunch of fucking Chamberlains capitulating to a dictator, Putin. Thank you. God, I hate that. Thank you, Viking Cat.
Weapons inside Russia. How do you feel about that?
I think that's the right decision. I think, Ukraine needs to get whatever help it can get in defending itself.
All right.
And I think NATO has urged that we allow those strikes. France, Germany, Great Britain, Canada, Finland, most of our allies have urged that. I think it is important for the United States.
Look at the title, too. Biden secretly gave Ukraine permission to strike inside Russia with U.S. weapons. Okay, that's Politico. It's not secret, though. It's been leaked. Germany announced it as well. Was it secret? Okay. Well, if that's the headline from Politico, I thought that was Fox's framing.
To provide a unified approach that allows the Ukrainians to strike at those targets.
I don't know where this Ukraine war goes. You always hear, Secretary, that right now Russia is back having the full advantage here. Weapons
wrong. Look at the agenda. Look at the agenda from Cavuto. That's wrong. That's actually wrong. If this was broadcast yesterday, Verdict Watch, I don't know how many days ago this was broadcast. That's misinformation.
Having the full advantage here. Weapons in.
They have full advantage. No, they don't. Russia does not have full advantage. This is not even close. Any objective observation. You could say, Ukraine this is a hard fight for Ukraine. It's not exactly, not exactly Ukraine pushing back and, Russia running for their lives either. But yeah, Russia is not a full advantage. No, that's an agenda. That's just an agenda right there. That's nowhere close to reality. I wanted to testify. Okay, so this is a statement Trump made today, I think. Got his thoughts together and actually did a speech. Let's get a little piece of this. This is a statement, I think, from today. Yeah.
Would have testified. I wanted to testify.
No, you didn't, you fucking coward. You knew it. You knew you'd purge yourself if you did. You fucking idiot. Such a liar.
The theory is you never testify because as soon as you testify, anybody, if it were George Washington, don't testify because they'll get you on something that you said slightly wrong and then they sue you for perjury. But I didn't care about that. I wanted to. But the judge allowed them to go into everything that...
An innocent person would be able to testify. If a person who legitimately thought they were innocent would want to testify. Of course.
But the judge allowed them to go into everything that I was ever involved in. Not this case. Modi. Everything that I was ever involved in.
Yeah, it's looking like Modi is going to be some kind of theocratic dictatorship. Is that what's happening? Thank you for that follow. Dragon Misery. Oh, my goodness.
Which is a first.
Yeah, Lenny.
In other words, you could go into every single thing that I ever did. Was he a bad boy here? Was he a bad boy there?
Gonzo.
And my lawyer said, what do you need to go through? And all you wanted to do is testify simply on this case. Because I would have loved to have testified. To this day, I would have liked to have testified. But you would have said something out of whack, like it was a beautiful sunny day and it was actually raining out. And I very much appreciate the big crowd of people outside. That's incredible what's happening.
It actually, innocent people can actually, get on the stand without perjuring themselves, without lying. But he's like, look, I would have loved to testify, but I really can't keep my lies together. It's literally impossible for me to keep my lies together. They're gonna get me. They're gonna get me. Yeah, they would get you, Donald. He lies like we breathe. Of course he can't keep it all together. But I will say that he does a pretty good job of gaslighting and lying and reality manipulating. He does a pretty good job of it. But in a court of law, he's right. Your statements get picked apart with a fine-tooth comb. And in a court of law, it's really the only environment that Trump can't use his magic reality weaving gaslighting powers. It's impossible because that's how the format works. You get scrutinized heavily, and your opposition can statement by statement, word by word, take as much time as they need to pick apart everything you said, right? So if you're a very dishonest person with a lot of lies, yeah, it's very easy for you to get stuck in a perjury trap. Yeah. So he's right. Most criminals who are trying to get away with crimes don't get up on the stand. Trump's kink is to be gagged and pegged. No, he's actually really boring. He's actually really, really boring. He got ready in the bathroom. He took his diaper off in the bathroom, and then he ran out on top of Stormy Daniels and did a missionary hump for a couple seconds. And then that was it. He went back in the bathroom, put his diaper back on. Yeah. No, this idea that he's like a sex fiend. No, he's just kind of a weird guy. He's kind of a weird guy. Jury convicts Trump and all. Yeah, okay, so that's New York Times. What's this? Donald Trump seeks advice. Oh, this is some kind of stupid sketch. Donald Trump Jr. Guilty on all counts. The Democrats have succeeded in a years-long attempt to turn America to a third world shithole. So like I said before, everything they say, just flip it. The Republicans in their agenda want to destroy our justice system, destroy democracy. They want to bring us to, maybe they don't want the economy of a third world country, but they want the how dictators and authoritarians rule the third world countries with an iron fist. That's what they want. November 5th is our last chance to save it. What? I'm really curious. I'm even though the polls are really scary right now, like I said before, with Joe Biden and Trump, it really, I can't help but feel like today, at least, I can't help but feel like his, this idea that, I don't know. I don't even want to flirt with it, but I can't help but feel like, his electoral chances are slipping. But I don't even want to go there. You know what I mean? I don't even want to go there. Trump got 3 baby mamas. Listen to this. Trump got 3 baby mamas, a mugshot, and 34 felonies for paying off his side piece. This man is blacker than... All right, is this... Black people can get away with making black humor like... I can't tell if this guy's black or not. How do I know if I can laugh at this or not? This guy he's in complete camouflage. His name's Pedro, so he's Mexican. Okay, I think I can laugh at this. I think it's okay. Or I'll vote to the Democrats. Yeah, Hashim, yeah. Melania, man, I'm just waiting for that divorce. As long as Trump pays her bill, as long as Trump keeps her lifestyle the same, it's a good chance she'll stick it out until he dies. But if he doesn't have the money to keep her lifestyle, then yeah, she's divorcing immediately. She's very transactional, from my observation. What the fuck? Trump is spewing utter nonsense at his press conference today. This is incoherent garbage. There's not a single full sentence in this entire clip. All right, I don't know if we heard this one or not. Let's play it.
Bragg's people protested.
Yeah, no, we haven't heard this one.
And the judge knocked him out, said you can't testify. He actually said you can't testify for anything
Hashim,
having to do with the trial. You can say what the federal elections is. Well, that doesn't help.
Gonzo,
Everybody knows
agree.
that. But you can't testify. So essentially, He wasn't able to testify. Other people weren't able to testify. But with these people, they were able to use people salacious. By the way, and nothing ever happened. There was no anything. Nothing ever happened, and they know it. But they were as salacious as they could be, and it had nothing to do with the case. But
wow, he's worse than I am when it comes to, like, you know, like the broken sentences and, you know, like failing to finish your thoughts and then, you know, jumping to the next one. Dude, I think, you know, I think I'm bad. I'm super frustrating to listen to, and when I watch my own stream, I'm like, this is unwatchable. I don't know how I have any awesome people in the chat. I don't know how anybody is here. Well, this guy makes some pretty good content. Yeah, so we've seen all this. Oh yeah, okay. We got some new ones. Yeah, I love this.
They got Trump on all charges, y'all.
Yeah, they did.
If they can do this to this man, what do you think they can do to you?
Oh, well, if I commit crimes, that I will get arrested. If I committed financial crimes, I will be indicted and arrested and punished accordingly. That's what they would do to me if I committed the crimes that Donald Trump committed.
Buddy, you stumbled onto the point. That's it.
Yeah.
No one is above the law.
Yeah, exactly.
Not him, not you, no one. But yeah, his followers have been having some meltdowns, and some of the stuff they've posted online is just...
It's a benefit to keep him hidden. He looks better pressed than out there giving the media talking points. Benefit to keep... You talking about Trump?
Just...
Do I follow the Bulwark? It sounds familiar. I don't think I follow them specifically. Oh my God, Milo Yiannopoulos over here. Drop the grift. God, he's super fashion. His little picture here. This looks like an Aryan. This looks like an Aryan image, right here. All right, I'm looking too deep into it, but look at this: Mother Teresa, Gandhi, Nelson Mandela. It's a parody. It's a parody. Milo Yiannopoulos is exactly the person that Sart was warning us about. Where's my Sart? Here it is. Milo Yiannopoulos is the exact person that Sart was, and he knows it. Like, he doesn't take this seriously. It's a grift. It's money. Doesn't really, you know, who knows what he actually agrees with. But he doesn't really believe this. He doesn't really believe Trump is on par, and he would not be prepared to defend this point. You know, tie him to a chair and say, like, I'm going to put a gun to your head, and you know, and you tell me how, you know, give me one example of how Trump is like Gandhi. Couldn't do it. Now running the Republicans against Trump campaign. Tim Leonard, I don't know. I don't know. I've definitely heard of the Bulwark. I think I've seen Sarah Longwell. I think I've seen her interviewed on MSNBC before. I don't know. A lot of these, like, Midas Touch, you know, ex Republicans, or I still want to be a Republican, but I don't like Trump. I feel like they're holding on to a fantasy that they're going to somehow get the Bush administration Republican Party back, and it's not happening. The mask is off. The mask is gone. Even, you know, even the so-called regular Mitch McConnell Republicans are fully capitulating to the MAGA extremists in a myriad of ways. You know, there's really only resistance when it comes to them having their power removed or reconfigured. That's really the only time they resist. But they love the messaging. They love the racism, the hatred, the reconfiguration of our democracy, the destroying of our electoral power. They love all that. And how do you go back to that? No, Bulwark mentions it in all videos. There's no Republican Party anymore. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. If that's the point that they're making. Yeah. Some weird AI stuff. I've been seeing this image going around. They're all independents. Yeah. Are they? Independents, in my experience, are usually okay with gay rights, but are also okay with corporate rights to fuck us over. That's usually independent, right? Corporations are people, my friend. Those kind of independents. Today was our George Floyd moment, so they give him cornrows. That's disgusting. Sarah and Tim are both gay. Well, that doesn't preclude you from having, for having nostalgic right-wing opinions that you refuse to let go. I'd be curious how independent they really are. Because if you believe in independence, then you believe in democracy. And then you should also believe in the people's right to raise the corporate tax rate. Oh, I don't know. We can't raise taxes on corporations now. Oh, I don't know. I'm saying I see a lot of independents that are basically right-wing libertarians that don't want to admit it. But hey, maybe that's not the case. I don't really watch the Bulwark, so maybe that's not the case with them. Sounds like I should check them out. So yeah, this is a really offensive, because George Floyd, if I remember the image in my head of George Floyd, he didn't wear cornrows. So this is them just admitting how ignorant and racist they are. A George Floyd moment means you wear white guy cornrows. Yeah, that's supposed to be Trump, I guess. Some AI image. Yeah, of course, Trump's rigged trial. He says he literally didn't change his message one bit. The comments that he made when he walked out after his guilty verdict might as well have been the comments that he made day one. It's all rigged. It's all rigged. They hate me. And the reason why that is that he knew from day one that he was guilty. His lawyers were like, this is a documented crime. You're busted. His lawyers at the beginning were probably saying, look, we should settle. We should admit guilt, and we could get a lower, we could get punished less if we just admit it now, because there's no way we can get our way. No, we're gonna try and delay. Once I become president, I can pardon myself. He knew from day one he was guilty. That's why these sound exactly the same from day one.
Rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt.
Conflicted judge. Daughters.
It's a rigged trial of disgrace. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. Our whole country is being rigged right now, and I think.
I love how he says this shit with a smile. He kind of knows. He kind of knows, doesn't he?
It's just a disgrace. We have a country that's.
Oh, you think so, Yogi? You think what are you going to do with it when Trump is gone? Who are you without Trump, Yogi? Who are you, buddy? The Dems are churning him into a symbol. Look, if Trump didn't want to be arrested, Trump shouldn't have committed crimes. That's how the justice system works. That's how the law works. Joe Biden has been so standoffish. He put Merrick Garland in charge. And the Jack Smith stuff has been delayed and delayed and delayed. It's going to the Supreme Court. He started 2 years late. Talk about hands off. This is not. I know you desperately need this to be a political witch hunt for your little victimhood narrative, Yogi. But it is so. I gotta say, Joe Biden. As much as I criticize Joe, because if I couldn't do what Joe Biden did for the last 3.5 years, of just staying stone cold silent on how much Trump is a criminal, and and making statements and interviews. I'd be talking crazy shit. Joe Biden doesn't say anything, and I gotta say, in times like this, it really does benefit him, because the argument that this is a political witch hunt is so absurd. If you're actually observing the day-to-day politics of this, it's so absurd to say that this is Joe Biden is going after his political opponents. What is shocking, though, is the poll numbers that show things are like a neck and neck race right now. I think if Biden pardoned Trump, the election would be over. Boy, I've seen several of you disgusting sycophants fantasize about this idea that if Biden wanted a really fair contest, he would pardon Trump for his crimes. Just pathetic. Oh, and Biden would win, huh? Biden's going to win regardless of whether he pardons Trump. I find it. Once again, I hate to. I'm jinxing myself here, but no. I mean, today at least, it does not feel. Even though the poll numbers are not looking great, it just does not feel like Donald Trump can survive this. It's true that very few people agree with you on. Death Dandelion. I totally wildly disagree with Alex Jones and all the conspiracy crap surrounding 9/11. But I do think something is up with 9/11 because buildings don't just crumble into their own footprint after a fire, especially steel-built, steel-framed high-rise buildings. They don't just collapse. That's something that is true that very few people agree with me. They immediately, oh yeah, you agree with Alex, you agree with Alex, you're a truther, you're a truther. They immediately smear me as someone who fully agrees with Alex Jones and all that madness. And of course I don't. But I refuse to believe this lie that those 3 buildings during 9/11 collapsed in a neat little footprint after a fire that happened for a couple hours. I know, I get in a lot of trouble. But that's one thing that a lot of people disagree with me on. No, see, and that's what I'm saying, Hashim. No, of course I don't believe in flat Earth. Of course I don't believe, the birds aren't real. Oh, they immediately start, oh, you agree with Alex Jones and all the crazies. You agree. They immediately start with that. That's one thing that I find really most fascinating about 9/11 is the knee-jerk need to accept the lies. Because think about it. If we, windmills kill birds. Well, are we going to deny that windmills kill birds sometimes now? Okay, no. But no, because if you think about it, with 9/11, right? If you question 9/11, you have to question the entire United States foreign policy stance since 9/11. You have to literally dismantle, your belief on what America is justified in doing and all that. But yeah, no, I don't agree with the fucking Alex Jones and all that. But you asked a question about, hey, what's something that is true that very few people agree with you on? And it has to, look, buildings don't do that, folks. They just don't. They just don't. And what I tell people is I encourage you to do the legwork, do some research. There's actually independent information that you can get that's not from Alex Jones, that's not from, what was it, what was that that famous Dollars and Cents? What was that famous 9/11 movie that came out? Oh my God, he goes through the whole thing here. He's got all the memes. Okay, this guy's pretty funny. Make sure you like and subscribe. I've scared away all my viewers with 9/11 conspiracy theories. I shouldn't have answered that. I knew I shouldn't have answered that question, but I got to keep it real. I always keep it real, and that's one of the things I consistently keep it real on that people hate me for. Hayden and Dis in 2016, the night when the candidate Trump said Mexicans were drug dealers, criminals, and rapists. Oh, that's pretty clever. Yeah, all right. Wait, is this a swastika, like the going both sides? So which is it? Is he a Zen Buddhist or is he a fascist? Which one? Isn't it? He's got him flipped around. All right, I don't know. I feel bad. I feel bad for the, you see images of people wearing swastikas before Nazi Germany, because it used to be this symbol of peace and love. And Biden was just asked about Trump blaming him for his 34 felony convictions. Hold on. Are you serious? Are you serious? Hold on.
Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign? We'd love to hear your thoughts, sir.
Should he be on the ballot, sir?
Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign? We'd love to hear your thoughts, sir.
Should he be on the ballot, sir?
Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir?
Just gives him a look and smiles.
Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign?
No fucking way, dude. No fucking way. Why can't this guy be this cool for the Palestinians? You know what I mean? Why can't this guy be awesome when it comes to Palestinian statehood? I want to love this guy so much, right? And then he comes out and says he's a proud Zionist, but then he does shit like
Donald
this.
Trump refers to himself as a political
He
prisoner and
just
blames you
looks at him
directly.
and
What's your response to
smiles.
that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign?
I love that, dude. I fucking love that. God, I want to like this guy, right? And then he shovels shit and he calls it a student loan policy. He actually has forgiven the debt of. Why start off your policy so milquetoast and then add on to it that way? I guess maybe that's just how it had to be done. But I will say, I think, what was it, 4.6 million students have received some kind of relief from his student debt policies. But man, why do you gotta be a proud Zionist, Joe Biden? I want to like you. That was classic, though. That was fucking classic. I'm sorry. I hate the military-industrial complex. Joe Biden is most likely a war criminal. Okay, his pullout of Afghanistan, while necessary, was a complete logistic nightmare that got people killed. This man is not a leader when it comes to Palestine, Israel. Not a leader, barely competent when it comes to Ukraine. Definitely could be a better leader there. But then he does some shit like this, and it's just Biden doing a lot of these funny things, or is it just a one-time thing? Well, no, I mean, like, there's that meme-based Biden, right? And they show him with the red lasers. So this is not the first time that he's like, come on, Jack. Come on, Jack. What are you talking about, Jack? But it's like, I want to like him, but like I said, fill in the blank. Fully supports Barack Obama's war crimes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, no. Oh, no. God, we talk about pathetic bootlickers, right? Does it get more pathetic than Vivek? Homie over here literally did an interview. Who was it he did an interview with? Who said, I wouldn't vote for you because you're brown. Who was that? It was like what, Laura Loomer? Who is that he did an interview with? And he called her brave for admitting that. Ann Coulter. It was Ann Coulter. Yeah, Ann Coulter, to his face during an interview, said, "Yeah, I probably wouldn't have voted for you because you're brown." And he called her brave. I'm paraphrasing, okay, but so look it up and you can get the full picture there. It wasn't exactly like that, but basically it was like that. The bootlicker of bootlickers, like this is the guy bootlicking the court jester. Right, hoping to get like, can I be the your helper court jester, just to be adjacent to the royals, right? Just to be in the room and smell the farts, Oh, I'm just happy to be here. I'm just happy to be here. I don't follow closely U.S. politics. The Swedish Social Democrat leader is doing a lot of funny things. Try to figure out if it's inspired from the U.S. Well, look at what's happening with Finland. Daniel, the anti-immigrant, make Finland great again, make Sweden great again, kind of, it's a template that right-wingers are applying everywhere. Every democracy is now dealing with a MAGA-style shamelessness because they've seen how effective it can be in the United States at destroying and dismantling democracies, weakening democracy. So yeah, I'm seeing it over here in Canada, and it takes, like fascism, but it's not exactly fascism wherever it goes, but like fascism, it kind of takes the identity of the local culture and local society. So the MAGA template is applied differently in Canada than it would be applied in Sweden. But what I would recommend to you, Daniel, is fight it. Stand up against it. Don't let it exist in a vacuum, because it's like mold in your fridge. It just grows and grows and grows. That's my advice to you. Support the people that are loudly and unashamed to call these people what they are and push back against them. That's how you fight it. You got to fight it as soon as possible. Don't laugh it off. Don't think it's, it can't happen here and it's cyclical and we'll get another administration. Yeah, that's what they thought in the UK. 13, 14 years of Tory rule now. How many years of Tories? You have to fight. You gotta meet them right there on that battlefield, that political, rhetorical battlefield, and fight against it as soon as you start seeing it. All right, let's hear from Vivek over here. Yeah, okay, let's get this over here. It was on my flight to Italy when Trump verdict came down. Flight to Italy, oh. Ooh la la. I'm ashamed that people here are asking me what the hell is going on in my own country. Now we're the banana republic and the rest of the world is laughing. I mean, we saw that British lady. She was like, laughing at the MAGA movement. And, like I said, whatever they say, it's projection, flip it. 180, flip it. So he says, it's going to hell. We're a banana republic, and the rest of the world is laughing. What is actually happening is that we're the exact opposite of a banana republic, holding the people at the highest levels of office to account. Now, not a sitting president, but an ex-president, which is pretty good and historic. So literally the exact opposite of a banana republic, and the rest of the world is laughing. No, the rest of the world is not laughing. The rest of the world is kind of like, whoa, damn, okay, maybe maybe America's democracy is not over. Oh shit, wow, look at that. Trump isn't immune. Like, there's a lot of countries where a character like Trump sits at the height. You think Modi is going to be held accountable, right? Look at what was it? Brazil? Was it Brazil? No, it was Bolsonaro, Brazil, right? Look at characters like Bolsonaro, right? They get to, lie and cheat and steal and try to extend elections, try to become a dictator, and then he gets to leave. He just leaves the country. That Bolsonaro? I think that was Bolsonaro, right? That left, and then he was like eating KFC chicken in Florida after he lost his election, and he tried to do a Trump January 6th, failed, and then took a plane to Florida, and I think he's been in America ever since. Right? That was Bolsonaro. Who am I thinking of? God, why do I think I'm wrong there? USA is not a banana republic, Vivek. Yeah, it failed insurrection. Okay, so that was Bolsonaro, right? He literally attempted a January 6th on an empty building. That was Bolsonaro. Okay. Sometimes I get mixed up. My imposter syndrome kicks in. But no, he tried to do a little fake January 6th on a building that was empty. All the politicians that were supposed to be there because the business was done like a couple days before. They were on vacation. So they did a little pretend January 6th on an empty fucking building. It doesn't work out. He doesn't get to extend it. He's begging the people basically to riot to keep him in power. Doesn't work. Goes to Florida, eats fucking KFC chicken. Right? Not held accountable. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that, we are not a banana republic. Okay? Trump, right? Like, he's convicted felon. Okay? If he leaves to Russia, there's going to be a warrant for his arrest. Right? That is not a banana republic. The world is laughing. No, the world is wondering, wow, is America like, damn. Okay, that's something to emulate. It's the exact opposite. Everything they say, the exact opposite. Let's see how many we can find during this 1 minute diatribe here.
Traveling here while the Trump verdict came down, and I have to say that when people here ask me what the heck is going on in your country, I am ashamed.
Yeah,
if this were happening in another country, and we in the United States heard about a party in power that was using prosecutorial force to bring fake charges against a leading opponent in the middle of an election.
So once again, fake. No, not totally legitimate. 100% legitimate. Fake. What does that even mean? You got proof? We literally went through an entire investigative process, an entire checks, evidence presented, defense, the whole fucking process. We literally just went through the whole thing. Stone cold guilty on 34 counts. You say Vivek over here in Italy says fake, and what? And you just get away with saying that shit without a shred of fucking evidence? Oh, his daughter worked for a Democrat. Not good enough, dude. Oh, the judge's daughter worked for a Democrat. What about the jurors? What about all the 12 jurors, right? What about every single one of those jurors had a daughter that worked for a Democrat? Really, really tired of charlatans who have to present zero backup. I got to back up everything I say, dude. I'm watching some of these clips. I got a social media editor. I got a link tree. By the way, check it out. If you want to check out some hot clips, you want some like edited, funny clips, check out the link tree. I should probably not ignore this. I should probably promote this a little bit more. But if you want funny, edited stuff, but like I'm going through this stuff and I'm like, oh, I don't know. That's kind of, oh, that might be, I might, oh, that's not exactly correct. Oh, I don't know if I should say that. I don't know if I should say that, like, oh, I don't know if that's 100%. Right. These guys get to fucking lie and lie and lie and lie. And you know one of the reasons why the characters like Vivek Ramaswamy get away with it? Access journalism. It's access journalism is a term to describe how journalists won't scrutinize characters like Vivek Ramaswamy because they won't have an opportunity to interview them again, right? So as long as Vivek Ramaswamy stays in front of a camera, stays controversial, MSNBC and CNN and ABC and whatnot will call him up to do interviews, right? But if they were too critical of him, they would no longer get interviews with him. And for some characters, it's like, okay, whatever, I don't care. But for other characters, it's like, well, I would really like to interview Michael Cohen 600 times because when people see Michael Cohen on the screen, they think he's going to say something salacious about Trump. It's good for ratings. So you become kind of a media gadfly. Anyway, let's get back to it.
We would call that the stuff of a banana republic. And yet now that's us. This is the stuff of how nations decline. Speaking of Italy, this is the kind of thing you would see in the fall of the ancient Roman Empire. Well, now it's happening right in our own homeland. Sometimes you go abroad and you see the way that you're viewed. It reminds you of how much our own nation has rotted at its core.
And once again, the exact opposite. Because you go to Canada, go to the UK and talk to people. They're like, oh wow, that's awesome. Wow, I thought Trump was going to get away with it. They're not, oh, this is a sad day for American democracy. Poor Trump. Of course, there's some people that are like that. If there's a great LBC. There's several LBC clips. I should probably show it, actually. I'll show it after this. Several people calling into LBC, British Trump fans like crying, oh, this is the terrible day. This is a terrible day. Minority of a fucking minority, okay? We're talking about the always online internet freaks, calling in who are fans of a different country's despot. Could you imagine you live in the United States, but you're a fan of Bolsonaro or you're a fan of, Kim Jong-un or Il? What is it? It's Un, right? He's the new one. Il's the old one. Okay.
The time for change is now. 2024 is a 1776 moment. I am proud to be an American, but it doesn't feel that way now when the rest of the world looks down upon the kangaroo courts that send our own political leaders to prison. Enough of it.
Hey, look, you don't like justice? Then America's not for you, Vivek. Just take all your money and go somewhere else, buddy. They've been saying this 1776 shit since Barack Obama.
I don't care if you're on the left or right. This is a danger to the future of our country. And I'm asking you to step up this.
Remember, exact opposite. It's not a danger. It's actually a major boon, for the strength of our democracy. It's not a danger.
Here so we can actually get this right. We have a country to save, and if we don't get this right in the next 7 months, I think it's quite possible we don't have a country left.
Oh, yeah. Okay, buddy. Yeah, it's going to be all over if Joe Biden wins a second fucking term. Right. And this is supposed to, I'm not supposed to interpret this as stochastic terrorism. That's a direct fucking threat. That's a direct fucking threat. Basically. Oh, if you don't vote the way that we vote, we're going to make this country, we're going to make the whole thing completely untenable. And like I was saying earlier, we should not be intimidated by this because he wants to pretend, oh, it's going to be a big uprising and, oh, people are going to, they're not going to take it anymore. And by the millions march on wherever they can march and kick down their front door and march into the streets. Not even close. Not even close. We're going to have a few extremists that have been inspired by Vivek who will probably commit violence. But we're not going to have some, countrywide January 6th. Like I said, if it does happen, it would be after Donald Trump wins and Joe Biden hands over power to a dictator because he believes in the process and he believes in democracy, and he'll gladly hand over that power to a dictator. And it will be the Civil War will be from the AG, from the Justice Department, deputizing this extreme political minority into enforcing its draconian authoritarian changes, to the country and democracy. And Vivek will be happy to be there. Vivek will be a so happy deputy. He'll be like, I'm the Duke of California now. I was installed into power by the Donald Trump administration. Happy to lick those boots, right? That characters like MTG and Lauren Boebert, they understand that they are not, they don't excel academically. They don't excel, philosophically. They don't have a lot of interesting ideas, but they do know how to bootlick to power. They do know how to make, the person above them, say what they want to hear and back them up and defend them vociferously in their lies and in their grifts. They know how to do that, right? And that's exactly the characters like Vivek are the exact people that Donald Trump wants to surround him, right? Ones that are ambitious enough to destroy the people around them, but cowardly enough to think like, oh, I can't challenge the power of Donald Trump, like maybe one day. But that amazing mix of cowardice and ambition that creates the perfect bootlicker. That's Vivek. So let me show you this LBC clip. We've been going for 2 hours. Let's go for another hour at least, and we'll call it a day. But it's just I want to celebrate this historic moment. Oh, this is really cool. No, let's see here. LBC. So listen to some of these. Listen to some of these UK Trump fans cry and not only cry and entertain, but also word for word repeat Fox News talking points, OAN talking points, Steve Bannon talking points. Let's see here. Yeah, here we go. He's a Terminator. Trump is invincible.
Fire away.
It's going to be really interesting to me, one, when Trump, if Trump loses, because it'll be like he's dead, basically. They'll, maybe for a year or two, they'll flirt with a Trump, Trump's going to run again. But everyone knows he's too old. This is kind of the last chance. So it's going to be interesting to me, like if he loses or if he dies, what happens to this cult? Some cults, when the leader dies, they keep the cult going. They say, oh, well, he's still alive. We still, you get the North Korea, style cult. Right, the Moonies, I think, have that. The Heaven's Gate people, right? We're on the comment. We're still alive, right? They somehow keep these individuals alive somehow, right? In their story that they build. So I think they're going to flirt with that a little bit, but I don't know, man. I think there are a lot of grifters, a lot of people that have, they're going to be totally listless. What direction do you go in? What, you just start becoming a vocal Ted Cruz fan, right? You start becoming a vocal Vivek Ramaswamy guy. It just doesn't have the same appeal. It just doesn't have the same, you're going to wear a Nikki Haley t-shirt. It's just regular politics without Trump. It's just boring ass, regular ass politics. Did you show the Biden smile again? I'm on record and don't find it on X. Yeah, where did I get that from? Oh, was that from the Twitter thing? Yeah, right here. Here you go.
What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign? We'd love to hear your thoughts, sir.
Should you be on the ballot, sir?
It's like he almost had something. It's like, oh, maybe I almost have a zinger, but he's like, no, this is too. You know what? We're just gonna keep this momentum. We're just gonna keep this. It's like maybe I got some. Nah. Okay. He's like, yeah. He even does the hand thing. He's like, I don't know. Yeah, he's like, fuck it. He's not even worth it. Not even worth a fucking syllable, dude. It's like I'm not going to respect that question with a response or an answer, and because it is totally absurd. So here, let me give you the link to this tweet. Oh, you're still here, Yogi? What, are you a masochist? Do you just like, you like to lose? You like to be what, like degraded? Is this like a sexual thing? There you go, Dragon, by the way, there's the link. Is this like a sex thing for you? What's going on with my DLive? Is this not something not working correctly? No, that's working right. Get this going here. Okay, I said it was gonna. Okay, this is amazing. Listen to this. You're gonna love this.
Away.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's very entertaining. Listen, he's going to get away with it and he's going to win. Watch November. Yeah? This is just a play. He's not going to go to prison.
See,
I know that.
Like, what is this person going to do if Trump loses? Like, the whole house of cards falls apart. You know, who is this person without this? It's kind of going to be like the people that, Obama supporters during the Obama election. When the election is over, it's like, okay, who am I? I've been like obsessed with Obama, for the last 2 years. It's been an election, and now, but for Trump, it's like, what has this been 6 or 8 years of Trump? Since the start of his, winning the election. So I guess even before that, during that first election, my God,
that's what you want, but it's not going to happen. Trump's going to win. You see all my black people, my Hispanic, what he did in the Bronx? That was amazing. That was a success. And I know that it's very cringy for you. He's going to win. Trump is a Terminator. He's a cyborg. You can't stop him. You can do whatever you want.
Well, Joe Biden stopped him last time around, didn't he?
He's a 10-man walking, mate.
But he did, Oliver. I mean, he lost to Joe Biden.
No.
So you can't stop him.
This is a new Trump. This is a new one.
A new what?
No, Yogi, I'm not used to viewers. No, I'm not. Not sexual. No. You're still trying to make this point. Trump is a convicted felon. Yogi, do you admit that Trump is a convicted felon?
Just watch November.
What am I watching?
You're gonna cry. Listen, you can't stop this man.
What do you like about him?
He's invincible.
He's invincible so much that he lost the last election he ran in. He's so invincible he lost to Joe Biden.
He's still there.
Totally impenetrable. Totally impenetrable. No, you see, this is why you just gotta vote. You gotta do your own, political activism. This neoliberal fantasy that we can convert the right wing is just that, a total fantasy. We have to convert the people that have become cynical, that are checked out of the process, the non-voters. Those are the people we need to be targeting on the left. We need to re-inspire them with policies, with politicians that actually, once they get into power, actually try to enact these policies that leverage their power for progressive left values. Once they get into power, that's how we get more voters. That's how we build a coalition. We don't run to the right and try to get this guy's vote.
Joe Biden's going to go to a home, nursing home.
Wow, Yogi, you're so pathetic, man. You're so pathetic. Asterix, huh? What do you think about the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, Yogi? Could you answer that question? Are you just going to not answer that one? But do you think it was that was a good trial? Kyle Rittenhouse innocent? Wasn't a miscarriage of justice at all?
Oliver, I'll leave it there. Thank you for your call. Oliver in South Harrow.
The left in America are after Trump from day one. I think he's going to be the next president of the United States without a shadow of a doubt. And I think we need him because he got on with Putin, he got on with Kim Il-jung, and he got on with the Chinese.
No, when Trump dies, we actually gain quite a bit. Still waiting for that answer. Problem is that Biden isn't a good example of progressive. No, exactly, Lizzie. No, that's what I'm saying. It's like, we can't allow the destinies of the world, the neoliberals of the world, to convince us that this is the best and only way forward for the left, is through this decrepit, creaky DNC Joe Biden, administration. We don't have much of a choice right now. Once we really, if you're in a swing state, if you're in a purple state, I do advise for you to vote Joe Biden. Right? If you're in a safe state, do whatever the hell you want. You're basically irrelevant. Thanks, Electoral College. But if you live in a safe state, fucking vote for Krusty the Clown for all I care. But if you live in a purple state, I do recommend you vote Joe Biden. But yeah, I totally agree. Joe Biden is not does not represent the left. I mean, is not even remotely close to representing what real progressive left values are. But it's up to the progressive left movement to use the leverage, to use the power of our democracy to make this change while we have our democracy, because we're right on the cusp of losing our ability to make these changes democratically. Was out of his mind being near the riots. He had a gun to put himself in the best of another crazy person in a sad affair. Not really. So, Yogi, wow, thank you so much for having some common sense. It didn't answer the question. Do you think the Kyle Rittenhouse was a miscarriage of justice, or do you agree with the verdict? Because Kyle Rittenhouse is a clear example of a miscarriage of justice. I'm not really sure what you want me to say. I'm dancing around. I'm giving you answers to questions you didn't ask. I'm dancing around it. I'm not even sure what you want me to say. I want you to hypocritically, I agree with the verdict. Yes, of course you do. Even though it was a blatant miscarriage of justice. But here we see that this is not a miscarriage of justice. This was a very deep and thorough investigation where the defense had every opportunity to defend themselves. The judge was not biased. The jury was not biased. This was not a miscarriage of justice, right? That's what I'm trying to point out, is that you're a hypocrite. But I think the reason the far right is so high in America is that people don't believe in an alternate economic system. Well, they need to be convinced. Running around with a bunch of hammer and sickle tankies with Mao posters on your wall isn't going to get people interested in communism and socialism. So we need to change that whole paradigm. How can you say the judge was not biased? Because there was no selfie taken, first of all, like in the Kyle Rittenhouse case. But no, he was just as hard on the prosecution as he was on the defense. There was all kinds of objections that the prosecution made that were rejected by the judge. There is no evidence. There is no evidence of impropriety. There is no evidence of that in this. And you need it to be, right? You need it to be a sham and all this stuff. There's no evidence of that. There's no evidence whatsoever that Joe Biden influenced this at all. At all. He doesn't even acknowledge he just fucking smiles. He doesn't even talk about it. Which, like I said, if I was in Joe Biden's position, I would have been running my mouth. Trump is a fascist, blah, 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 blah. Would have been using my bully pulpit. And I would have been like, yeah, I don't like him. And I put an AG in charge that's going to make sure that, whatever crimes he's committed, he's going to be convicted for. I'd be busted up and down for my bias. Joe Biden has done none of that. Frustratingly, none of that. Hasn't talked shit, doesn't even mention him by name. Right? I think the statement that they made most recently, and maybe the statement they made today, was one of the first statement he's made on any of the Trump trial, any of the Trump indictments and all that. That frustrates a lot of progressives, but that's the case. He's there's no this is not a sham, fake. This is not fake. Look, you're going to say fake, you got to come with some proof. Oh, the judge was biased. Why? Because his daughter worked for a Democrat? Not good enough, dude. Not good enough. It just is not.
So it cozies up to dictators, and that's a good thing.
Well, we need somebody like that, yeah, to stop a third world war.
So listen to that. Listen to that pathetic defeatism one more time.
States without a shadow of a doubt. And I think we need him because he got on with Putin, he got on with Kim Il-jung, and he got on with the Chinese.
So he cozies up to dictators, and that's a good thing.
Well, we need somebody like that, yeah. To stop.
Wow, yeah, we need somebody like that. Cozies up to dictators. Literally described it in a very negative framing. And he's like, yep, that's what we need, yep.
Stop a third world war. Yeah.
But don't you stop a third world war by stopping Putin just having his way and doing whatever he wants in Ukraine?
Well, yeah, it's give and take, Ben. It's give and take. It's not all Putin's fault. You can't blame it all on Putin. The European Union has been pushing east constantly.
So immediately coming out with the NATO antagonized Putin. Putin had no choice. He had no choice but to invade. Guys, isn't that? I mean, that's so lazy. It really is lazy.
Right.
Well, yeah, it's give and take, Ben. It's give and take. It's not all Putin's fault. You can't blame it all on Putin. The European Union has been pushing east constantly and what have you. So
that doesn't justify going and invading sovereign countries, does it?
Yogi, you're embarrassing. Yogi, you're an embarrassing individual. Everyone point at Yogi and laugh. Okay? Get a load of this fucking guy. Get a load of this guy. The reason why Yogi hasn't been banned is because he's entertaining me.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have pushed east, you know.
But what if Donald Trump says, all right, Vlad, we're great mates now. Have whatever you want. Take the Donbass, take Crimea, have it. Whatever you want, it's all yours.
Well,
what happens next?
I saw something on the internet the other night. They were talking about a peace deal where Putin would be allowed to keep the land he's gained, and there'd be peace. But
James, what message does that send to the dictator in?
No, Yogi, you're not glad to converse on this. No, you're not. You're subtly trying to inject doubt and gaslight about what is reality. And you're doing it for a fucking authoritarian dictator. You think you're clever, you know, you think you're smart and tiptoeing around this. This isn't a conversation to you. This is a game. I see right through you, man.
In the Kremlin. If he invades a country, the US will let him keep whatever he gets.
Well, there's going to have to be compromise.
And then he goes after Moldova, and then he goes after Estonia, maybe a bit of Latvia. Quite fancies a bit of Lithuania.
I mean, that's just propaganda from the West. I think
he'll stop. Didn't you know that? Once his strategy of stealing another country bit by bit is successful, he's just going to stop and be friends with everybody, guys.
Happy.
James, it's not propaganda. It's what he's done twice in Ukraine in the last 10 years. What makes you think he'd stop there?
I just think he would. I think we've got to stop this.
I just think he would.
I don't think there'll be a nuclear war.
No
I think if there's going to be a nuclear war, it would have happened by now.
I got no proof. I'm cowed. I'm a coward. I'm afraid of Putin's threats of a nuclear war, even though mutually assured destruction has not changed. I'm a coward and I'm scared and I think I'm okay with authoritarians and dictators walking all over me. These are supposed to be the tough guys, right? These are supposed to be the big tough patriot. You know, I'm sure this guy's pro Brexit and oh yeah, we're independent now, we're doing our own thing, and yeah, Britain first. Bunch of fucking Chamberlains. Thank you. Gonna say Churchill again. God damn it. Bunch of Chamberlains.
Do you think he'd stop there?
I just think he would. I think we've got to stop this.
Yeah, Hashem.
I don't think there'll be a nuclear war, because I think if there's going to be a nuclear war, it would have happened by now, and what have you. But you can't go around demonising. You need to be giving Putin a way out of this.
Why can't you demonise Putin? The man is.
We have to appease Putin, and like I do agree. Like if there's the way out is we're gonna stop. We're going to stop at the borders, and the way out is for you, if you don't want to lose any more troops, you don't want to lose any more resources, leave, and we'll let you leave. Ukraine would happily let Russia leave. We'll stop bombing you, let you take your time, collect all your resources that you use to invade my country, and leave. That's the opening you need to give Putin. Not, okay, trade away one fourth of Ukraine for a momentary pause while he collects strength for the invasion on Kyiv.
Demon.
Well, you can't go around demonizing. You need to be giving Putin a way out of this.
Why can't you demonize Putin? The man is a demon.
Well, some people say that Tony Blair went to war allegedly with no weapons of mass destruction. I mean, he should be in front of the Hague, shouldn't he? Him and Alistair.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I even disagree with him, but what the fuck does that have to do with Putin invading Ukraine?
Wait, do you like Vladimir Putin? It sounds like you sort of respect the guy.
No, I just don't want there to be a nuclear war, and I don't want there to be a third nuclear war.
If Putin drops a nuclear war, it's our fault. Isn't that cute? So we have a totally separate organization and government with its own ability to act, do whatever the hell it wants. It does something, and it's our fault. Man, could you imagine? That'd be like the United States, justifying a preemptive invasion You know, we got to get them over there before they get us over here. It's a guarantee that at any moment we're going to have Iraqi and Afghanistan terrorists coming over into the border. We got to go over there, get them before they get us. They hate us because they hate us. How absurd would that be? A third nuclear war. I think I missed the second one.
I want to see in Ukraine a diplomatic solution to it. No, that's what I want to see.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. He doesn't want to see a diplomatic solution because what he wants to do is capitulate. That is exactly what he was talking about. So Davey posted a link here, some breaking news coming out of Israel. Let's take a look. Israel has now offered a roadmap to an enduring ceasefire and the release of all hostages. Okay, I haven't looked at this yet. If this motherfucker, because like up until now, the deal for Hamas has been give us all your political leverage, give up, lay down your arms, give up all the hostages, and we'll give you a 6-week break, and then we will continue your annihilation. That has been the deal on the table since, after October 7th. A deal that nobody would take, completely, utterly absurd to even put that on the table, right? Give us everything, completely admit defeat, and we'll give you a 6-week break before we likely continue operations. So I swear to God, if that's what this fucking peace deal is, okay, let's see what it is now. So phase 1, complete ceasefire. Okay, wow. Israel saying complete ceasefire. Without saying we got to destroy all of Hamas, because they've been saying no ceasefire. A ceasefire is a gift to Hamas. The only solution is the complete destruction of Hamas, which, as we know, is technically impossible, because you don't destroy terrorism with a bullet. You destroy terrorism with a healthy middle class. Anyway, so a complete ceasefire, that's big. Withdrawal of Israeli forces from populated areas in Gaza. Little vague. Release of some hostages and some remains of hostages, right? Okay, this is phase 1. Okay, let's get this a little bigger for you. Palestinian civilians can return to their homes in Gaza. Wow. Okay. All of Gaza? A surge in humanitarian aid. That's phase 1. Wow. That looks like a legitimate peace deal. Have I gone blind? Am I having a stroke? Is this a legitimate peace deal? Phase 2. A permanent end to hostilities. Wow. Where's the mission? Where's the mission to destroy Hamas? Exchange for the release of the remaining living hostages. Israeli forces withdraw from Gaza. Right. Well, hey, Pat, did you know it's actually against Twitch's TOS to advocate for a genocide? That is what you're advocating for, right? Destroying all the Palestinians? Mr. Spitzfax, you're advocating for the destruction of all the Palestinian people, killing them. Okay, so exchange for the release of remaining living hostages, Israeli forces withdraw from Gaza. Phase 3, major reconstruction plan for Gaza, final remains of hostages. This is too good to be true. This is too good to be true. No, because like Ben Gvir, so Gallant is like, yes, this is the direction we should go in. Bibi Netanyahu, this doesn't work for him politically. This does not work for Bibi Netanyahu politically. Spitz facts. I'm expecting an answer to my question. Israel has now offered a roadmap to So this is from the POTUS here, and the release of all the hostages yesterday. Proposal was transmitted by Qatar to Hamas. Today, I want to lay out its terms for the world. This is untenable for Bibi Netanyahu and untenable for Ben Gvir for a completely different set of reasons. Ben Gvir wants Gaza. Ben Gvir agrees with the settlers. He wants to take Gaza. He wants to do what they're doing to the West Bank, to the Gaza Strip. So this is untenable. People are if Bibi Netanyahu agrees to this, people are going to be like, oh, yep, you're Hamas defeated you. You promised us that you were going to destroy Hamas, and Hamas still lives. Hamas still exists. We knew from day one that it was absurd. Like when Bibi Netanyahu was making these claims, we're going to destroy Hamas. We knew it was ridiculous from day one. There was, of course, one person in our chat, our proud old school Republican, would you know it, who was convinced, and I guess, are you still convinced, Davey, that Hamas can be defeated? Oh, well, they could do it. I mean, I know America failed with $2 trillion in Afghanistan to even, put a dent into the Taliban. But, ISIL was reduced in capability. ISIL was reduced in capability, so I don't see why Israel can't completely eliminate Hamas. Except every sensible person who knew what they were talking about told you that you were wrong. Sorry to call you out. But do we now accept that there is no defeating Hamas? It's still Davey over here. You see what I mean? No amount of evidence. There's no amount of evidence that could be presented to you for you to unmoor yourself from this, quite frankly, ignorance. Oh yeah, no. I mean, it could still happen. We could still defeat Hamas with more violence, with more military action. I mean, we just got to double down, triple down, right? Reminds me of Vietnam, right? There were a lot of people who were like, oh yeah, we just should have gone harder in Vietnam. We should have just, gone out and kill more people. Vietnam's not a very large place. We could, contain the whole area. And I'm sorry to call you out, Davey. But come on, man. It's official. This is from Vietnam is larger than the Gaza Strip. But yeah, okay, Davey, you're defending a strategy that has failed, and you're hypothesizing as if, well, it might still succeed. You're eating a moldy sandwich, and you're like, it's not too bad. It's actually not too bad, dude. Your sandwich is green. The strategy failed. This right here is admitting the strategy failed. There is no defeating Hamas. There is no defeating terrorism with the barrel of a gun. You defeat terrorism by doing phase 3. Major reconstruction plan, a technocratic government, elections. You get the Palestinian Authority in there. I like how that's not mentioned, by the way, because the Palestinian Authority absolutely needs to be part of this. Right, but apparently, according to this, we're just gonna treat Hamas as the legitimate government? When failed, Biden wasn't experiencing really. It's just so. Come on, man. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. You were wrong. There is no defeating terrorism at the barrel of a gun. It was a failed strategy from the beginning. It has knocked Israel down. Like, the whole facade has been destroyed about Israel being defensive and Israel being justified and moral. The whole thing has been the whole image has been destroyed because of this attempt to destroy Hamas. Hamas Bugs Bunnied Bibi Netanyahu. You know what I'm talking about, right? With Elmer Fudd. Oh, I think I got him. Fills the rabbit hole with a bunch of shotgun rounds. Bugs Bunny standing right behind him. Oh, I just gotta shoot some more rabbit holes and I'll get that wascally rabbit. Meanwhile, Hamas over here in northern Gaza attacking positions, attacking the IDF, setting traps, setting ambushes. IDF over here. This to me is huge. This is a huge, admitting. So thank you for the link, Davey, and I'm sorry to call you out. I am sorry, and I do appreciate your honesty. But you're wrong on this one, dude. I don't know what it's going to take. Like, would you, if Bibi Netanyahu on camera said, yeah, the strategy to defeat Hamas was not correct, would you admit it then? Be like, no, Bibi, you're wrong. No, it would have succeeded if Joe Biden wasn't running for president. So this looks like a legitimate peace plan. We're absolutely going to have to talk about this tomorrow. I'm going to put this in the Discord. This is a legitimate peace plan, and it seemingly I don't think this is going to go anywhere because this treats Hamas like the legitimate government in Gaza. I don't see any mention of the PLO. I don't see or the Palestinian Authority. If the right party's really put in the you're wrong. You're wrong. Even unless Israel, Israel technically could have put a full barrier, completely occupied every inch of it. And seeming if that's the only way, if destroying 70% of the structures in a region and occupying every square inch of it was with hundreds of thousands of soldiers is the only way to eradicate terrorism with the barrel of a gun, is it really the smart? That seems like a lot of work. That seems like a lot of resources. Wouldn't it just be easier to treat the Palestinians like human beings? And you agree with this, Davey. So I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. You agree with this. But wouldn't it just be easier to just treat Palestine like a country, give it the respect it deserves, the legitimacy that it deserves? If the only way a military anti-terrorist operation can work is if we completely annihilate and occupy every inch of it to the cost of trillions of dollars, man, do we have a plan B? Hey, Leon, thanks for coming in. Our friend from the UK. Good to see you. So this is really great news. Thank you, Davey, for this link. All right. Last... Okay, yeah, I got time just enough for this. So, Sean Hannity, you're going to love this. You're going to love this, and you're also going to hate this. And I'm sorry, we're going to listen to fucking 12 minutes of Sean Hannity. I'm sorry. Okay? But we're... Hold on. I got to get my special BS roundup here. 1 second. Where is it? Yeah, BS Showdown. Boom. Coogan Swoot, folks. Coogan Swoot. We're going to do a counter. I want to count how many lies, how many pieces of misinformation Sean Hannity produces. So let me get this going here. 1 second. Let me just get a counter browser. Yep, counter tally 1. There we go. Perfect. Let me just get this set up. 1 second. So we're going to count how many lies and pieces. We'll just say misinformation, right? Because he's so skilled, it's hard to tell what is a lie, what isn't. So let's just call this misinformation. Set that. Okay, here we go. Misinformation tally. Let me just trim. What happened? Oh, come on with the advertisements. Hold on. There we go. Let me just trim this up. 1 second. I know. I should have had this set up before. Sorry, folks. I know. It's a very professional operation around here. Get this trimmed up for you. All right. So we're going to do misinformation. Well, no, let's be funnier with this. Let's just say it, call it what it is. Bullshit. It's bullshit. All right, folks. We got ourselves. It's time. It's time. Strap in. Coogan Swoot. We watched Dmitry Peskov interview at the beginning of the Russian invasion. We counted up his lies. Oh, that was amazing. That was amazing. This can't be worse than the Peskov. How many did we get up to? 50? Like 40 or 50? It was like a 20-minute interview? No, I think it was like 40-minute interview. All right. So let's get into it, guys. Coogan Swoot time. Bullshit showdown. How many pieces of bullshit misinformation do we got? How come this is okay? Let's just get the video playing. Hold on, I got to get the tally going. Hold on here. Hold on. I got to immediately get in here. Oh, set. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Coogan Swoot time. Alert. Okay, let me shorten this up. Yeah, there we go. That's looking a lot. All right, professional operation. This is like MSNBC, guys. All right, here we go. Counter's going. Counter's going. Here we go. Muted. It's muted. You fucking suck. You suck. I don't even know what the fuck you're doing, idiot. Fucking idiot. Not even funny. Let's do it.
And welcome to Hannity. We start tonight with a Fox News alert. I have a travel advisory for New York City. If you're a conservative or a Republican or a Trump supporter, beware. In the weaponized Biden criminal justice system, well, political differences are now considered especially heinous. And if New York's powerful Democrats hate your politics, well, a prison cell might well be in your future or some kind of conviction for something, well, that they make up. Without a second thought, well, these Democrats, they'll make up a crime, conduct a show trial, rig a conviction with a handpicked Biden-donating judge, regardless of the evidence, if they could even explain it. And just hours ago, the former president of the United States, now running for a second term, Donald J. Trump, was convicted on all 34 felony counts and will be sentenced, just a few days before the Republican convention. How convenient. But most Americans...
I mean, that's bullshit, but it's just speculation.
Including people in that very courtroom can't even identify the alleged felonies.
Handpicked.
That's because this is a conviction without...
No, that's a lie right there. He just said they can't even identify the felonies. Dude, there's a detailed list of all 34 counts, of all 34 indictments. What is he talking about?
But most Americans, including people in that very courtroom, can't even identify the alleged felonies. That's because this is a conviction without a crime against Joe Biden's chief political rival in the middle of a presidential campaign. The only so-called evidence was uncorroborated testimony.
No, lies. That's a total lie. Cohen was the last witness. They called like a dozen people. They called a bunch of people. It wasn't just Cohen. That's a total lie.
From a serial liar who admits he has an ulterior motive, who is even likely caught lying on the stand during his testimony. We'll see over time, and is now also an admitted thief on top of everything. But of course, the left, they will celebrate. They will sing, they will dance, they will high five.
I sung and I danced. You bet I did. I high five, dude.
Gleefully call Trump a convicted felon.
Gleefully. Fuck all day, baby. All day. All day. Oh, he's not really a felon. He's a sex crime. Oh, he's not really a felon. No, that motherfucker, convicted felon. Until I hit the grave, Hannity.
Now they're cheering the end of...
Wait, please pause the video. What do you want, Hashim? What? I'm trying to finish my stream. What do you want, buddy?
5, gleefully call Trump a convicted felon. Now they're cheering the end of what would be, let's see, equal justice under the law, equal application of our laws. Let me bear no doubt here.
Some brown on his
lips.
This
is a sad day for our country.
That's funny.
It's a sad day for our justice system. The best justice system ever created by man. The foundation of our constitutional republic.
Right. Yeah, the system that you so desperately want to destroy and dismantle showed its value more so than in the last 50 years. Has any, this is the New York. This isn't even like, federal. This is like local, state, and never, I don't think I've ever been more proud of this system, which is incredibly flawed. The justice system is incredibly flawed in the United States, but this is an exemplary reason why it's something that it needs to be reformed. Kangaroo court. Wait, what is it? Wrong button. Oh, shit. All right, let's get back to it.
It's literally dying before your eyes. Lawfare now rules the day. If a former president running for a second term with near unlimited resources can be treated like this, no one is safe. This should send a chill down the spine of every business leader and politician, not just in New York, frankly, because we have a weaponized Department of Justice under Joe Biden. You step out of line, a corrupt Democrat of some kind somewhere will throw you in jail. But if you beat the living hell out of a police officer or old people in New York City, and it's on video, don't worry, no bail needed and a slap on the wrist. Is that
so? Once again, a what about argument that does not work in the law? That's not how this works. Other Just because other crimes were committed by other people, that does not give you, that does not get you off the hook for the crimes that you yourself committed. That's not how any of this works, Hannity. Well, it is literally like a child's reasoning. Oh, can you believe I'm getting in trouble? Oh, my widow's sister stole a cookie yesterday. She didn't get in trouble.
The living hell out of a police officer or old people in New York City, and it's on video. Don't worry, no bail needed and a slap on the wrist. Is that justice to you? In this case, Bragg employed this novel, new, never applied before legal theory. Again, never tried in U.S. history. He took a far-fetched misdemeanor, well past the statute of limitations, then magically converted that into a felony.
No, not magically. No, this is a normal process. This guy is straight-laced. This guy is not biased in the least, actually. You know, you got the issues with the Fani Willis stuff, right? Alvin Bragg is the exact opposite of Fani Willis. He is spotless. He is known as a buttoned up, straight to business kind of guy who actually holds a lot of respect, by his colleagues for his professionalism. There's, Hannity over here trying to say it's, he's making up stuff out of whole cloth. Not even close. Not even. Oh, he turned a mountain into a molehill into a mountain. A misdemeanor and magically turned in. No. A misdemeanor turned into felonies. Felon indictments because they did an investigation. They started digging into the evidence like any other crime, like any other criminal. Okay, let's see how deep the rabbit hole goes. Oh, wow, this is a, smelly cesspool. And look, we got it up to 34 counts. Once we actually dug in and did our job and, yeah, exactly. He just literally did his job. Once he dug in, the misdemeanors, hey, if you get caught on it happens literally to any citizen. Right? They get you in on something small. They do an investigation into your finances. They do an investigation in your life. Oh, wow. You committed these other crimes. Oh, well, you don't get to go to the judge and say, oh, well, wait, this guy over here committed the crime last year and he was found innocent. He committed the same crime. He was found innocent. How come I'm getting this unfair? Your daughter works for a politician. Imagine a regular guy. Your daughter does this. Your daughter. Excuse me. Are we talking about the judge? Right? Are we talking about my fucking daughter right now? Hold this man in contempt of court for 30 fucking days. If he some regular schmuck tries the Trump tactics. But no, this is a really dangerous. Oh, no big deal. A partisan witch hunt. Magically turn a misdemeanor into a felony. That is no. This man followed the process. He followed the money. He did a proper investigation, documented every inch of this motherfucker. Apparently, this guy does not put shit up, apparently, according to other analysis that I've heard. This guy doesn't put shit up unless he has the evidence, which was why Alvin Bragg initially delayed this trial, because he was still digging in. And it's like he won all 34 of those, and it wasn't 35 with one innocent, right? He only put up the ones that he knew were slam dunks, and they were slam dunks because they were fucking documented. Name on the document. I'm lying. You can't get around that stuff.
Again, never tried in U.S. history. He took a far-fetched misdemeanor, well past the statute of limitations, then magically converted that into a felony with a federal law based on some nebulous, unspecified federal election violation that was never tried.
Not nebulous, not unspecified, totally specified. It's not. The guilty verdict doesn't say, and some other stuff, and he was guilty for some other stuff, and we don't like him, and we hate him, and it's all documented.
Charged or prosecuted, of which he has zero jurisdiction. Bragg then multiplied that same charge 34 times. That's a shady maneuver called count stacking. The case that mysteriously made its way to a far-left partisan judge named Juan Merchan, who, by the way, donated to Joe Biden. Merchan's daughter.
Yogi, that's you. You love it. He doesn't have to prove that, huh? Hannity doesn't have to prove anything of what he says. He's saying these things without a shred of evidence. Meanwhile, in reality land, Yogi, in reality land, the case is documented. The crimes are clear. The case stacking. Look, if I strangle somebody and then I commit another crime and I rob a bank and then I go steal some money from somebody, is it count stacking if I get in trouble for all three of those things? So is that how you get away with crimes? If you're a person like Donald Trump, you just commit a bunch of them because it's count stacking. Oh, you're going to get me for everything? Oh my God, you're so lame. Oh my God, yeah, okay, I committed a lot of crimes, whatever. You're stacking it against, you're so biased against me. Oh my God, we're going to document every single crime, every single falsehood, and you're going to hold me accountable for each one of those? Oh my God, this is such a kangaroo court.
A Democratic political operative who reports say may very well profit from this very trial. That would be cause for recusal, but no one...
Yogi, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You're literally floundering, man. You're literally just making shit up. The crimes were misdemeanor clerical errors 12 minutes ago. Says fucking who? Maybe it started off as a misdemeanor and then an investigation was done. The money was followed. More crimes were uncovered and the criminal is now been convicted of those crimes. That's how the justice system works. That's the law. You don't get a special, well, I'm important and people like me and I have money pass for the justice system. That's the whole fucking point of this country. That's the whole point. Goes all the way back to George Washington. And if you don't like it, suck it. You don't like equal justice? Suck it.
In New York's fake justice system saw this as what? A conflict of interest. Remember, he was purposely picked for every single Trump-related case rather than having a pool that they chose from as
so he's talking about Trump's desperate attempt to move the case to a more biased location like Florida, right, where there's a bunch of DeSantis-appointed judges. Let's not forget, some of these characters, I think Juan Merchan was installed by Bloomberg. Motherfucking Bloomberg. You know? I don't think this guy's some, some Eileen Cannon style partisan.
For usual course of business. This was a dream come true for Juan Merchan. He never even tried to hide his bias, according to witnesses in the courtroom.
No bias.
Merchan just simply coddled the prosecution, allowing rampant speculation, irrelevant, immaterial smears against Donald Trump. He all but encouraged the prosecution to mislead the jury and insinuate that Michael Cohen's election crimes were tied to this case. He should be viewed as an accessory to the Trump crimes before the conviction. That happened earlier today. Very different story with the defense. Merchan actually blocked testimony from an election law expert, Bradley Smith, former head of the FEC. He berated Trump's team and their key witness.
There were a lot of attempts to inject a lot of unnecessary information that were unrelated, right? A lot of so-called experts that were there to basically try to character assassinate the prosecution's witnesses and inject a bunch of non sequiturs and a bunch of political nonsense. And Judge Merchan put the kibosh on that pretty quickly. That's what Sean Hannity is talking about.
Actually blocked testimony from an election law expert, Bradley Smith, former head of the FEC. He berated Trump's team and their key witness in front of the jury. He rejected nearly every objection made by the defense. He attempted to silence Donald Trump.
Literally over here, Fox News using Alan Dershowitz quotes to defend themselves. You're pulling out, pedos that hung out with Epstein as your expert. Pretty pathetic. Alan Dershowitz rips tyrant for outrageous rulings in Trump trial. Never seen spectacle like this. Alan Dershowitz doing exactly, filling the role that he knows needs to be filled. Alan Dershowitz over here, wearing the cloak of academia. Oh, I'm an expert. When you talk to actual experts about Alan Dershowitz's opinions, especially in the last fucking 20 years, when he's gone off the deep end, turned himself into a right-wing weapon, People who actually know what they're talking about will point out that Alan Dershowitz is a hack who makes inaccurate, hyperbolic statements that benefit right-wing narratives over the truth.
With what was a clearly unconstitutional gag order, and perhaps worst of all, his jury instructions were completely unconstitutional, telling jurors they didn't need to agree on what the phantom law was or the phantom underlying election felony is, as long as they...
Phantom law? What's a phantom law? Is that a law that you don't like, Kennedy? Is that a law that's affecting an authoritarian that you want to install as a dictator that you don't like? Is that what a phantom law is? How does that work? So it's a law, it's on the books, but it's a phantom law. Ergo, I don't like it. I disagree with it. How does that work? What's a phantom law? The Phantom Menace.
What the phantom law was or the phantom underlying election felony is, as long as they...
Phantom underlying election felony. You mean the law that he broke? These phantoms that we're dealing with. It's just unbelievable.
Agreed he did something wrong. That was enough for a conviction. And according to Juan Mershon, well, it did not need to be unanimous in the sense of what they believed. Naturally, the jurors didn't even specify felony in their ruling. In other words, Donald Trump was found.
What's happening?
That was insane. Well, that is because it is insane. First, we know from the 2020 Supreme
Great production values you got there, Fox. Sorry, the volume's a little too loud. Turning it down.
Supreme Court ruling Ramos versus Louisiana, quote, there can be no question either that the Sixth Amendment's unanimity requirement applies to state and federal criminal trials equally. That's not all. Here is the U.S. Supreme Court ruling from Andres versus the U.S. Quote, unanimity in a jury verdict is required where the Sixth and Seventh Amendments apply. In criminal cases, this requirement of unanimity extends to all issues. And by the way,
that's exactly what happened. He was found guilty by a jury of his peers. They were unanimous in their decision. I was expecting a hung jury, quite frankly. I was like, there's got to be at least one partisan that's going to go down with the ship, because I was like, well, that partisan is going to be, immediately they got a nice warm seat ready for them on the Hannity show. Right. You immediately become a Joe the Plumber like character. Oh, yeah, I'm the jury that, that saved Donald. I'm the juror that saved Donald Trump. I made sure the whole process was stopped. I hung the whole jury with my partisan beliefs. I'm a hero to the right wing. They were begging for it. They were like, please, some partisan who lied to everybody and get in there. Please hang everything up. But that's not what happened. Apparently, one of the jurors was a regular viewer of right-wing news, and it was like the perfect partisan. That's exactly what happened, Hannity.
Character or degree of the crime, guilt, punishment, which are left to the jury.
That's exactly what happened.
Let me repeat. In criminal cases, the requirement of unanimity extends to all issues.
They found him guilty on all issues, all 34 of them. They painstakingly went through each and every one of them over the course of months. It's been the background noise of my fucking life for the past months, Hannity. What is he talking about? I feel like I'm being gaslit. What is he even talking about? Does he agree with this?
It's not what the judge instructed this jury. Trump also has a right to know what he's being charged with. He didn't know the whole time. According to Cornell law, the Sixth Amendment of our Constitution.
He didn't know the whole time? Huh?
Grants all Americans, quote, the right to know who your accusers are and the nature of the charges and the evidence against you. Apparently, this rule of law, that doesn't apply to Juan Mershon either.
I don't even know what he's talking about. The defense had access to every bit of evidence, had access to everything. There was pushback against the defense wanting to name everybody, like anybody that was being protected, any of their statements are being protected, innocent people are being protected. The defense wanted to intimidate those people so that the Fox News goon squad, right? So Hannity could, look at this name. I'm going to name them by name. Oh, here's where they live. They live here. They live there. This is their name. They go after them. So Judge Merchan prevented that from happening. Is that what he's talking about? If you're innocent and you're testifying in a criminal case, you don't need to be named every time.
He ignored all civil liberties during his instructions to jurors. Of course, it likely wasn't a problem for the jury. They barely deliberated despite the complexity of the novel legal theory at play.
I disagree. It was a lot quicker than what I expected. I disagree with that, but I guess I'll let him lie about that one.
And they probably all hate Donald Trump. So it was...
This is journalism? Just a lazy, ad hom. Oh, they probably all hate Trump, too. Any proof? Got a shred of it.
At play, and they probably all hate Donald Trump. So it was probably an easy sell. Remember, New York City...
Probably an easy sell. Total bullshit, man. Just shoveling it.
Voted against Trump, well, almost 9-1. God forbid Trump got the change of venue. That would have been the right thing to do.
Yeah. Please move this whole thing to Florida, where I could be protected by DeSantis and the judges that he's installed locally. Meanwhile, the crime happened in New York. It doesn't make a fucking lick of sense why crimes happened in New York need to be tried in Florida. Doesn't make a lick of sense, Hannity. And let me tell you something. If the shoe were on the other foot, right? If this was Bob Menendez, putting gold bars in his fucking suit pocket in New York, committing corruption and crimes, election crimes in New York, and he successfully gets it moved to, I don't know, California or something where it's perceived where it's gonna be lighter on him. Do we think Sean Hannity would be like, oh, that's fair. I mean, Donald Trump got his move, he got his venue moved, so that's fair. It's so blatantly and obviously partisan and hypocritical for him to say that. My goodness.
Theory at play, and they probably all hate Donald Trump. So it was probably an easy sell. Remember, New York City voted against Trump, well, almost 9-1. God forbid Trump got the change of venue. That would have been the right thing to do. Not when a political persecution is in the works. No, that's not in the cards. For many Democrats, equal justice under the law is now completely tonight meaningless. They just hate conservatives, they hate Republicans, and they certainly hate anybody with the last name Trump above all else. They are desperate for one-party rule in perpetuity. They're all hell-bent on using our...
Once again, right, whatever they say is projection and 180 it. Is there any evidence whatsoever that Joe Biden, that there's a left wing, there's a neoliberal DNC version of Project 2025, that there's any interest whatsoever in converting our system into a one party, one government system in the way that the Republicans are advocating for and are effectively trying to do at every opportunity they have now in local governments. You go to Alabama, you go to Texas, you go to Kentucky. They're doing everything they can to change. Look at the picture, by the way. They're doing everything they can to change the laws so that Republicans are the only ones that win, that it's impossible for Democrats to hold any kind of power. Is there any evidence whatsoever that the neoliberals are doing that? Zero. Fucking none. He's making a strong case. You're changing my mind, Dari.
For one-party rule in perpetuity. They're all hell-bent on using our justice system as a political weapon. We've talked about the weaponization of our justice system, a dual justice system. It is all for them a means to an end.
Once again, projection 180. They want a biased, they want a two-tiered justice system, and they of course want to be in the side that is, benefiting. What's that famous statement about how right-wing conservatives they want a system of laws that protects them but oppresses their enemies? It's exactly what they want.
Now, thankfully, New York City's far-left Democrats. Here's the best part of tonight. They don't have the final say. Now, here's President Trump moments after the verdict. Listen closely.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. But the real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end, and we'll win, because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now, from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble, but this was a rigged decision right from day one, with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
This case is far from over, and you will get to...
This case is not far from over. This case is over. This case is over. Convicted. It's all about... It's sentencing. Now it's just like, how much does he get fined, or does he go to jail? This case is over. It's really just about how badly punished is he going to be. And by the way, his attempts to intimidate the judge and intimidate, all the contempt of court violations that he's made will be part of the deliberations in his sentencing. By the way.
Render the final verdict in this case in 158 days.
Yeah,
this case will be appealed. Donald Trump will be vindicated. I see no scenario in which this is not overturned. That's almost a certainty. But will it happen before the election or after the election? All afternoon, all evening, people have been asking me, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? Well, as President Trump said, the real verdict will take place on November 5th. And by the way, voting early, voting by mail, overcome your reluctance and resistance, the system we're stuck with. We need legal...
Isn't it so funny? They're holding on to Trump's criticism of vote by mail when it doesn't benefit him, but they also need to encourage voting at the same time. So they'd be like, oh, well, you got to do it. You know, vote however you can, even though it's a bad system that I hate and I want to change radically and make it worse and... remove your options. I want to remove all that, but still do it, but it's bad.
Overcome your reluctance and resistance, the system we're stuck with. We need legal ballot harvesting to match the efforts of Democrats, hopefully surpass them, partisan observers to watch the voting all day and the vote counting all night.
Watch away.
But if you want this lawfare to continue, elect Joe Biden. If you want the border crisis to continue, people coming from China, Russia, Iran, Syria, Yemen, Egypt, Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, vote for Joe. They're unvetted. If you like defund, dismantle, no bail laws, vote for Biden.
Okay, that's a lie. That's a total lie. Can someone please point to a neoliberal Democrat currently sitting in power that wants to defund the police? A single fucking one.
If you want more Biden inflation, re-elect the guy that caused it, Joe Biden. If you're happy with the wars and the carnage overseas, Joe Biden's your guy. If you want all this, you get to decide. Not 12 jurors in New York City. Ultimately, it's your choice. Americans who are rightly outraged by this verdict, they need to take away one major thing. 158 days, you get to decide, and voting early, of course, you get to decide at the ballot box. You get to deliver the final verdict. So whatever you're feeling today.
Depends on the state, Time to Duck. Certain states, felons are allowed to vote. Usually right-wing states, felons are not allowed to vote.
May I humbly suggest you channel that into action on November the 5th. Otherwise, this is the America you will hand off to your children and your grandchildren. And it will be a steep...
You mean an America that where no man is above the law? Where even ex-presidents can be convicted of their crimes. Yeah, that's exactly the kind of America I want to hand over to my kids. You betcha.
Uphill battle to ever reverse course. Hey, Sean Hannity here.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. I'm a complete hack. So there you go, folks. 46 bullshit statements. You know, some lies, some half-truth, some fabrications, some fantasies. But we got 46 in the span of 12 minutes. 11 minutes, 41 seconds. Coogan swoot! Coogan swoot! Yeah! Coogan swoop! Coogan swoop! So there you go, folks. That is today's democracy special. That is it. That's all I got for you today. What a great day. Look, you know, like I said, Ukraine fighting for the life, Palestinians fighting for the life. We got problems happening in Caledonia. We got problems happening in fucking Ecuador, Argentina. Fill in the blank. Let's not forget the state of the world. But just for one day, I do this sometimes, okay? Just for one day, put that smile on your face. Have a little hope, just a little bit. Take a little sip from the hope cup. Just a little, you know. Don't go chugging, but just have a little sip of the hope cup. Today is a great day. Yesterday was a great day for democracy, for justice. Like I said, the experiment started, you know, the day that George Washington stepped down from power and allowed a democratic process to replace him. That experiment is continued on to this day. No man is above the law. No man is above justice. Of course, that's not true. We know that's not. We know there's a two-tier justice system. We know there's a lot of work to do to fix this. We know there's bias. We know, you know, Kyle Rittenhouse, O.J. Simpson, plenty of examples of miscarriages of justice. It's not a perfect system. It's a system that still needs to be improved upon, but it's not completely unrecognizable. You know, we haven't hit that point where it is a kangaroo court, right? We haven't hit that point that Donald Trump wants to turn it into, that Hannity wants to turn it into, right? Where a dictator tells his justice system, go after this political opponent, go after that political opponent. If you want an example, take a look at India and how Modi systemically, a new charge, we found a new crime. Just so happens to be the most popular political opponent. Sorry, can't run for office now. Disqualified. I mean, like I said before, as much as I disagree with Joe Biden's staying quiet, staying silent strategy, it has totally today, on this day, where there's, you know, lawfare, there's weaponization. Because of that action, because of Joe Biden staying the fuck out of it, not making statements, not putting himself into this, letting Merrick Garland, a mediocre conservative in his own right, you know, letting the Justice Department do its thing, letting the chips fall where they fall. That strategy has shown itself to be successful today, because there's just no feet to that argument that this is a partisan political witch hunt. This is Joe Biden sending his goons after his political opponents because he's intimidated by Trump's electoral chances. They're going to, of course, push that narrative. It's a very attractive narrative, right? It's got a lot of conspiratorial teeth to it. But they're going to keep pushing it. But the absurdity is apparent. The absurdity of that argument is apparent, because of the actions of Joe Biden. Didn't Trump say he was like Navalny? Yeah, Trump says he's like Jesus. Trump over here compares himself to the fucking Messiah. You gotta enjoy these moments, especially in times like these. The sun is shining where it doesn't normally, for my part, all day long. Exactly, Dragon. Just for one day. All right? Folks, if you enjoy justice, if you enjoy democracy and the American experiment, and the democratic experiment happening in any democratic country, Canada, UK, well, you name it. If you love democracy, if you love liberty, and you want to see it continue to flourish, I have a magic 3-step program that will fix all of your problems instantly. Magically and instantly. That's what people want to hear. No, unfortunately, it's not magic and it's not instant. But it is the only thing that's ever worked. What I am talking about is political activism, Yogi. And you're kind of a joke, Yogi. Straight up. You've been embarrassing yourself all day. But somehow you're still here. But here's the magic 3-step program to create political change. Step 1, inform yourself. Yogi, double down on step 1. You are misinformed. Step 2, join a political organization in your area. This isn't about love. This is politics, bitch. Get used to it. Welcome to the motherfucking show. Welcome to the motherfucking real show. What, you want to be coddled? You want a fucking cookie? This is politics, bitch. And this is abandoned nihilism's chat. This is the News Underground chat, where you got to hold your own. You got to represent your views properly, with nuance, with sources. You can't come in with that feelings over facts bullshit. Being in my chat is a privilege, not a right. Step 1, inform yourself. Double down on this, Yogi. Step 2, put your name down for a political organization, a volunteer. Maybe it's a politician you like. Maybe it's a union you support. Maybe it's a political movement that you want that's for single-payer health care or free college education. Put your name down and sign up. They need volunteers. They need help. Ask them what you can do for them. In step 3, put in the work like Charlie Kirk. Put in the work as hard as the fascists are working to destroy our country. Charlie Kirk and Steve Bannon and all the rest of them, Sean Hannity, all the rest of them, they're working overtime. They're working on the weekends. They're putting in those extra hours. They're burning that midnight oil in an effort to completely dismantle our democracy and destroy liberty as we know it. The only solution is to meet that fascistic energy right there in the streets. So you got to put in the work like Charlie Kirk. Remember that. While you're sleeping, they're working. While you're arguing on Twitter, they're working. So it's that 3-step program called political activism to create real change. Folks, peace in that motherfucking Middle East. Glory to the Ukrainian democracy. I am abandoned nihilism, and this has been the News Underground. Cook and swoop, motherfuckers.
All of my niggas got pieces, y'all used to sharing them. Niggas quick to switch to hate be real. When you go from flipping 62s to an 80-20 label deal. Will I ever know how a halo feel? Maybe not. I take the pot, stack mines, tall as Jermaine O'Neal. With Louis on, I feel like big with Coogee on, Tully on.
Props to everybody.
3 bricks worth
I'll
of
give you props
jewelry
tomorrow.
on. She give me top water movie on. We hood movie stars.
Thank you, Lenny.
From Elmira to
Dragon,
Juvie Hall.
Chem Gob.
I might be the reason you was dark. I thought y'all niggas was
Kissing
gangsters,
Gonzo,
but all
Ice
that
King.
dick riding threw me off. Let's go.
Woke Patriot, Davey. Time to duck. Ice King once again. Platinum, big props, big props. Lizzie Mallow, big props. Sovereign Dari, big props. Stickers for cookers. Big props. Magaconda, big props. I know the game, Magaconda. Big props to you boys, Zio Duke, and everybody that contributed in the Discord. We'll be seeing you tomorrow. Big, long, big, fat, big, obese stream tomorrow. Tune in. Who can swoop? Peace out.